You already know who it is. King Fortune, we back in this bitch once again. It's about 6 a.m. on the West Coast, or 9 p.m. on the East Coast. So good morning to everybody. You know, depending on where you are on the planet. Now, in this particular such session, I want to speak about dreams and demons or devils, more specifically. Now, I had a very, very wild night last night. Not because I went anywhere special or did anything or met certain people. It's just the dreams. If you don't have a organ night or orgon, which is what I have here, if you don't have one of these, you need to get you one. Let me let y'all see this up close. All right. Get you one of these. 20, 30 bucks. You can find these anywhere online. Put it on your third eye while you sleep. So when you sleep, so you basically is doing this. You sleep with this on your third eye, right? Sleep with this on your third eye and sleep on your back. So I'm telling y'all how to enhance your dreams, right? So for anybody who have trouble with their dreams, this is how you enhance them. Put this on your third eye while you sleep, sleep on your back, and of course sleep with your head facing the north. It's not the first time I'm saying any of this, but it may be your first time hearing this. On your third eye, so you got the energy being projected out, or it can either be pulling in, however you want to do it. Put it on your third eye, sleep on your back with your head facing the north. My dreams were so vivid. My dreams were so vivid last night. I could not believe. I was literally waking up like, what the fuck did I just see? I could not believe the type of shit I was seeing. Let me give you an example of what I'm speaking about. Like, for example, like I was seeing people that I have known in the past, right? I've seen people that I've known in the past, and these people were religious. You know what I mean? These people were very religious. But in my particular dream, all right, I'll give you a couple examples here. So it's like I woke up, I became conscious in the dream, right? And I had like a blunt in my hand, right? I had the blunt in my hand. So I'm smoking a blunt, right? I'm in people's house. Like I'm smoking a blunt in someone else's house. So it's like I'm trying to like hide it. I'm trying to hide the blunt, but obviously the smoke is everywhere. But nobody is saying anything, right? So I got the blunt spark smoking up. I actually feel high in my dreams, everything. So when all the people started walking up the stairs, that's when I tried to tuck it or whatever. But nobody was tripping, so I was kind of shocked. I'm like, yo, these people, none of these people smoke. So I'm not even sure why I'm smoking. But then it's like everybody gathered into this one room, right? Everybody gathered into this one room, and motherfuckers were just talking like super reckless, like non-religious people. They was like, yo, are you gonna pass the blunt? I'm like, I didn't know you smoke. Here you go. So motherfuckers, while they hitting the blunt and shit, motherfuckers like, yo, I pop pills every weekend. Like that's just how I live my life. I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers don't pop pills. These motherfuckers don't smoke. So I'm literally what I'm giving is an example of the dream time and the devils. So I'm literally seeing people that are the complete opposite in real life or so-called real life. I'm seeing the complete opposite. Like, yo, they're doing things they have never did. Like I'm just, and it I literally woke up out the dream and I couldn't believe it. It took me like 5 minutes to really compose myself because the dreams were so vivid, and it was like it's let me give you another example, because it was like I was having a dream back at the 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 back. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, is the stars aligned in a certain way? I'm just playing. I already know what it is. But every time I would have a dream, all of the dream characters were like trying to get me to come somewhere. Like, yo, come over here, come over here, come over here. Like, look, like let's go over here. Let's go to this place. Like they're trying to direct me in a certain direction. And I'm more so like the dream is happening so fast. It's like it's happening at an accelerated pace. So I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, yo, I don't know you to even be into this stuff. It's like these dream characters are into things that I don't know them to be in. So it was kind of like a complete reversal of reality. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Like these, like normally, like when I see dream characters of people I actually know or have known at some point, they tend to kind of reflect their actual character. That's how it usually will go. But in this particular case, because the dreams were so vivid, they were the complete opposite. So I had to think to myself, I'm like, why am I seeing the complete opposites of who and what they are? So I came to the conclusion that they're more so projecting, you can say, my devils are being projected into them through the dream characters. See, in other words, let me put it in a different way. The reason why those dream characters were chosen by my subconscious because they were not the way that they were actually acting. So it kind of threw me for a loop. Like for example, if you have a dream and people are already with the shits, it don't really disturb you because like yeah, I already know this person to be with the shits. But when a person is not with the shits, then they're more with the shits than you are. Like I'm trying to hide the blunt. They're like, what are you hiding it for? Like you're not doing anything wrong. Like I'm still in the mentality of they are not like this. So I'm still in my human mentality trying to apply that logic into the dream world. So I'm trying to apply my human logic to the dreams. And the dream characters is like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, don't act like you don't smoke. Don't act like you're not with the shits. And I'm more so like, I know I'm with the shits, but I didn't know you was. Like, I never saw you spark a blunt, or I never saw you popping pills, and so on and so forth. And they looking at me like, yo, this is what we do. So I'm like, well, I didn't know that. You're like, but no, you're not talking to who you think you're talking to. You are talking to, you can say shapeshifters, right? They are projections within my subconscious because that's my subconscious communicating the message to me that just because we have a certain image of a certain person or how a person is supposed to be in whatever context they may be that in, when it comes to the dream world, all that takes a back seat, you can say. So in real life, you may know a person to be completely righteous. They may go to church. They do they 9 to 5 jobs. They do everything on the straight and narrow. They don't want nothing to do with no type of drama, no drugs, nothing. But when you see these motherfuckers in the dreams and they more crazier than you are in real life, then you know it's not that like they're trying to communicate with me like physically or anything of that nature. It's more so of can you handle the real reality? Because the real reality is completely different than what we perceive to be in the illusion. The real reality is if you can accept your devils in your own subconscious mind. And when I mean devils, I'm not speaking about nothing bad, negative, or sinister. It just more so if you see a person outside of the context that you know them to be, then you understand that this is more so their spirit communicating, or you can say their soul, however you want to make it make sense in your mind. This is not necessarily their human projection. In the dream world, that human shit has to go out the window. This is also why most people don't remember their dreams, they don't care about their dreams, or they have a hard time coding the dreams because the dreams is always speaking symbolically. So we're trying to apply the human context to the people we may know, and it doesn't add up. Then it kind of takes us for a loop. It's like a mind bender. Like, yo, what is going on? What's going on is you need to leave the human shit at the door. Because once I left the human shit at the door, then everything started to make sense. Meaning, I needed to see those visuals. I needed to see those people that were so called righteous and walking the straight and narrow path. I needed to see them in their opposite manifestation so that I can understand where I am. That should unlock your mind. Like, yo, this isn't real, so to speak. This is a dream. That's a key from your subconscious communicating with you. Like, yo, this is not, you're not really going through this. This is a dream. It's for you to snap out of the illusion, even if it's temporarily. snap out of the illusion and go into your God consciousness. Right? Go into your God consciousness, then communicate with them from that God consciousness. Because when they was on that God consciousness, they're like, yo, pass the fucking blunt, give me the pills. You know what I mean? We about to get super fucked up to the point where we don't even remember what's going on. I'm like, these motherfuckers, like, yo, they're like, yo, it was everything was going on around the room. I'm like, yo, I didn't, you know what I mean? I'm like I'm supposed to be the dangerous one, right? This is what it like. When you are normally the dangerous one, you the one taking the risk, and you the one doing all the craziness. Then you're the least crazy in the room. It's just a mind, but like, yo, I'm the least crazy in the room amongst the gods, because the God form or the God consciousness transcends all. So it was just a key to let me know that, yo, it's time for you to go into the God frequency. Why? Because if you're still stuck on the human level of thinking or this human mentality, then you're going to be stagnated. So you're not going to be able to capitalize off of the moments when you dream. So if we all go to sleep 8 hours, at least, even if you sleep 4 hours, because some people only sleep 4 hours, whenever you go to sleep, this is an opportunity for you to connect with your God consciousness. Another way to say this is dream yoga. I've mentioned dream yoga before, but just in case I have any new viewers who never heard about dream yoga, just type it in Google. It's all there. Dream yoga is it's essentially it's to help you walk through the dream realm and the dream world. To help, it's a whole yoga. Like people do exercises with yoga, so it's an entire spiritual system dedicated to dreams, so that you understand what you are perceiving. So because I was amongst the gods, and it was like, yo, they are more dangerous than me. I'm like, yo, I felt like a minor or some shit. I'm like, yo, I didn't. It was just my mind. I woke up and I just couldn't believe it. So I just sat up and I'm looking around and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I just had to really. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? I'm like, these are not normally the type of dreams I have. Like normally, I'm pretty sure all of us be having random dreams. We doing random shit that really don't mean anything, just casual shit. But when this shit is extra vivid and this shit is happening back to back, so I had to gather myself for 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, let me lay back down. Then some other shit started popping off. As I was saying, like now I'm in a whole nother dimension, and motherfucker like, yo, come over here, let's do this. Hey, like, what are you waiting for? It's like I'm just a minor. I'm like, yo, I didn't know y'all was into this. I had to release the human consciousness or the human mentality. And once I was able to release it, now I can communicate with the true essence. And when I started to communicate with the true essence, then I started to get answers, right? I started to get answers. So this is why I say get you an organite or an orgon pyramid or whatever, whatever shape. It's people that make this themselves. So you can get whatever, they got star shapes, pyramids, circles, whatever you can think about, whatever floats your boat. Get you some orgon, put it on the third eye while you sleep, and it will enhance your visions extremely, so to the point where I couldn't even keep up with the dreams. I'm like, yo, it's too much going on. Let me wake the fuck up. I had to like, yo, I can't even sleep no more. Like it's just way too much. It's like being in a war zone. It's like I'm in a battle, but I was losing. I'm like, yo, like again, when you are the crazy one, then you become like the weakest in the room because everybody else, oh, you thought you was doing something. Yo, give me those pills. Pass that blunt, motherfuckers. Just popping pills, smoking blunt, drinking Hennessy. I'm like, this shit is water. I'm like, yo, you out of all people were just doing like, yo, I don't even go that fucking hard. And they looking at me like, yo, that's on you. But I felt the high in the dream, like I'm smoking the blunt, and like I feel high. This has happened several times. Also, you can practice inversion. If you don't know what inversion is when you stand on your head. And if you are not balanced enough to stand on your head, just do it against a wall so that you can maintain your balance. Do that maybe about 20 minutes before you go to sleep. Like for example, for the people who may have darker dreams, not darker as in negative, just darker where they're not as vivid. If you want to increase the vividness of your dreams, do inversion about 20 minutes before you go to sleep, and it will make your dreams a lot lighter. Because I remember one time I did the inversion for about 20 minutes. Then when I went to sleep, it's like I woke up in a high school, right? It was like I was in a high school and it was filled with graffiti everywhere. It's like the teenagers had completely taken over the high school. There's graffiti in every single room. Then these motherfuckers are smoking bongs and shit. So we just up in the classroom, pass around this bong. So I hit the bong. They're like, here, take this shit. I'm like, absolutely, I'm taking this. I'm like, who the fuck don't want to, go to fucking high school, hit the bong, and you just fucking do graffiti and shit? I'm like, I'm in our turn to reality. But when it's like I felt the high, it was more like it was more than just a blunt high or a bong high. For anybody who knows bongs, it's pretty powerful. But I'm like, yo, this kind of seems like it's mixed with some white shit, right? I'm like, this seems like some white girl. Cause it's like I started to fucking float like this. I'm like, that don't really happen. Like when again, everybody has their own experience. Let me tell you mine. Like when I smoke weed or whatever, it's more so. Well, I guess it depends on what spirit I'm working with. Cause I always channel with certain spirit when I smoke. I don't never just smoke haphazardly. So it all depends on the personality of the spirit. But either way, it's more so it's more internal. I go more so inside. However, it's not really like I start to float. The only time I start to float is when I'm doing extremely powerful shit. For example, it's like mixing the weed and the blunt and you sprinkle that white shit on there. So I don't think y'all even know anything about that. They used to do that shit back in the 80s, whatever, you sprinkle that white shit. Anyway, because like whenever, and if I just want to be completely honest, there's no reason to hold any secrets. Because I'll tell you. All right, so, because we on the West Coast. Well, I'm on the West Coast, so, you can just go to a dispensary, flash your ID. You can, get weed. It's no problem to get it anywhere, as long as you have your ID, whatever. If you don't have your ID, you can get it off the streets. Just take your ass to where a lot of people are. There's always the dealers. So this one particular time, I was on my way. I was on the strip, the Las Vegas strip. I was on my way to the dispensary. But at this particular time, I needed to change my clothes or whatever because I had been walking for a while. Because basically, if I was to walk to the strip from where I stay currently on foot, it would probably take about 5 hours. I'm like 5 hours away if you were on foot. Now, if you're driving, it probably take 30, 45 minutes. No problem. Because I have done this before. I've done this a couple times because I just want to know how long it would take, to get there from where I am on foot. Because I'm just a traveling motherfucker, right? I don't care about how long it takes. But once I know how long, I like to know. I like to calculate things in my mind. I'm like, okay, if I want to go over here, it's gonna take this certain amount. Anyway, that's beyond the point. So on my way to the dispensary, I sit down, on a little. I guess I'm by a bus stop or whatever. I just sit down. I take my shirt off because I had just bought like some black tees or whatever. Take my shirt off. I just throw the shirt away. I'm like, I don't need this no more. Cause like when I be doing the little homeless shit, like you can't really store a bunch of clothes on you, unless you want to be walking with a bunch of clothes. So you just swamp them out. Like once your shirt gets dirty, you wear it for a day or so, take it off, throw it away, put on a new joint. Take it off, throw it away, put on a new joint. Take it off, throw it away, and that's just your whole outfit. Your whole outfit just swamp. You just buy new shit if you want to stay light. Now again, some people be taking their clothes, taking it to the laundromat, so on and so forth. You can do that too. It all depends on how light you want to be when you travel or when you backpacking. I've done all that before. Anyway, so I just I take my shirt off. I'm like I don't care. I got my shirt off right now. But I'm not just walking around with my shirt off. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this off, put another shirt on, whatever. Who cares? So it was a dude right across the street at the bus stop across the street. So he dashes over to me and he asks, he was like, yo, do you know the people that live in this apartment building? I'm like, nah, I'm not from around here at all. I'm just here to, you know what I mean, I'm here to get some weed. Like, you know what I mean, I'm just here for the party. Then he was like, I got you, don't worry about it. Cause I planned on spending maybe, I was gonna get like a gram, so I only planned on spending about 10, 15 bucks, whatever. Nothing serious, you know, just something for the night. So he like, yo, I got a $5 bag, but I also got this pill. I got this white pill too, and I'll give you both 10 bucks. So I stopped and I started thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm already. I'm sorry, this classical music. It's classical music. I'm like, this. Anyway, so like I got this pill and this weed. I'm like, all right, I'm spending $10 anyway. I'm like, all right, give me this shit. I'm like, all right, whatever. He like, yo, don't take this pill all by it. Don't take it all at once. It'll fuck you up. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna take it all at once. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sprinkle that shit on a blunt. I'm not telling people to do this shit. You gotta be a tough cookie. You gotta be a tough cookie because it's a whole different. But this is for educational purposes for the ones who may be curious. I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm not recommending nobody do it, but I'm just telling my experience because I just want y'all to know, just in case you may have been thinking about it. All right, so I'm like, all right, this is a great opportunity to find out what this does. You know, got the Birdman hand rub. I'm like, all right, because I don't really do the whites, of course, you know, all natural for me. So I'm like, fuck it, let me see what's going on. So I sprinkle that shit. I sprinkle the shit. You know, I get a little blunt, dump the weed in there, sprinkle the white shit on there, roll it all up. So I'm like, okay. At first, I wasn't feeling shit. I'm like, all right, this is just regular shit. I'm like, I guess the weed wasn't nothing special, you know, just, you know, street shit. It wasn't really nothing special. It wasn't like, you know, dispensary type shit. Like the dispensary weed be having you like a fucking zombie. Like that shit is ultra powerful. But so, you know, sometimes you get it off the street, it's a little less potent. But sometimes that's a good thing because sometimes you don't want to be zombied out. Sometimes you want to, you know, continue to be productive. So I'm like, okay, that's not necessarily a big deal, right? And was it a cannabis pill? No, this is the white girl. It's the white. No, it wasn't. No, this is some white shit. I've done the cannabis pill before, but no, we're not talking about the cannabis pill. Or I guess they call them the THC pills. What, you know, whatever floats your boat. So I'm like, oh, I'm not really feeling nothing. I'm like, oh. So I do a little more. So I'm like, I'm not really feeling nothing special. So I had I rolled another blunt. I rolled another one up. Then it was these two lesbians. These two lesbians. And I guess they was talking amongst each other. And you know, I guess it was like a white girl and a Mexican girl. You know, they was lesbians, right? And they had said something to me. You know, I'm smoking my shit. You know, when you got the weed blowing, conversation starts to spark immediately. For those who may not know, because again, weed isn't legal everywhere. So I guess this may be dangerous depending on where you are in the country. So I don't recommend to do this if you're not in a place it's not legal. You don't want to have any problems unless you just G with your shit. Unless you just that motherfucker and you know how to move around. Nonetheless. So I sparked the blunt. I'm like, here, y'all want this shit? I'm like, here, take this shit. You know, as an offering. I'm like, oh. Because, like, whenever I've learned, you know, I done been in the streets enough, I've learned, like, whenever people spark a conversation, what they're really asking is, let me take a puff. They're not directly asking me, right? They're not directly asking me. So they're just making light conversation. Of course, I pass it. I'm like, So the white girl, she's like, nah, we good. But the Mexican was like, what the fuck you mean? She was looking at her like crazy. Like, what you mean we good? Give me that shit. I'm like, oh, this is a real BITCH, right? I'm like, oh, that's a real one. Here, take that shit. I don't even want it back. Just take it. I'm like, oh, I'm like, she's hardcore. Here, take that. I ain't even tripping. So I continue my journey. But then after about maybe 10, 15 minutes, I start feeling some shit. I'm like, oh, it's like I don't know, how do I explain this shit? It's like you feel, it's like a coolness. It's like a cool breeze, right? It's like a cool breeze. You know, normally when you smoke weed, that's why they call weed. Yo, you got that fire, you got that fire. Weed kind of heats you up, right? It's like, it's fire. But the white girl is like a cool, icy breeze. So you got this fire mixed with this icy breeze. And when you mix that combination, I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, this is interesting. Because the ice breeze, it kind of, it makes you, how do I put this? It's like it's a very unique experience. It's unlike anything else, which is why I'm like, this is why I don't do the white girl, because I'm not gonna call it highly addictive, but it's a different experience. I'm like, oh, this is how people fuck with that white shit, right? So you call it a tornado. That's funny. That's funny. Again, trust me, I may seem a little dangerous, but I'm not up to everything. Motherfuckers been doing this shit since teenagers. I hit my first blunt, I was 21. I was anti-drug till I hit 21, and I started fucking with those Mexicans. Fucking Mexicans put me up on game. They're like, yo, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? I'm like, I don't want to be high. I'm not going to be able to do my job. Like, I'm still the square at this time. Why would I be high on the job? They're like, yo, we do it. Do you see us? Do you see us messing anything up? I'm like, no. It's like, we're high right now. I'm like, all right. They're like, we're high right now. You're missing out. Because at this time, I will only smoke at night after work, after the day is done. But I could never enjoy it because I would just fall asleep. Like when I first started smoking weed, I only did it at night, then I just go to sleep. So I'm like, I felt like I was wasting the weed. I'm like, why am I smoking just to go to sleep? Right? Like, why am I smoking just to go to sleep? So when they told me that, they're like, yo, we're high right now. We are high every fucking day. And our days are just breezy. We just breeze through our day with no problem. I'm like, damn, that shit is making, I'm like, that makes sense. So, so I started contemplating. So I'm like, all right, on my birthday, like, let me try this shit, right? Right? But that's a whole different story. Let's get back on track. So that's tornado, as I know it to be now. That tornado is a very special experience. Cause it's a very special experience. Cause I don't view drugs as anything negative if you know what you're doing. Like there's a deity. I've already spoken about the deity. There's a deity that is over the coca leaf or that white girl. There's a deity that resonates over that. So if you connect with that white girl, there's a reason why they call it the white girl, because it's a spiritual thing if you know how to peep game. And for those who don't, like for the abusers of the white girl, if you start to abuse her, then that's when you start to destroy your body. But if you're just doing it for an experience, it is what it is. Now, let's get back on point. Where am I even going with this? Where am I going with this? Where I'm going with this is, when you fucking with that white girl, you start seeing them devils. So that cool breeze, I'm like, that shit started making me real primitive. So you see I'm thinking about it right now, you see my hands? That shit started making you primitive. I'm like, oh, this is making me primitive. And what I mean by primitive is, how a person gets drunk? Then someone who isn't attractive, they start looking attractive. So I'm looking at women, because I'm on the strip, it's women everywhere. I'm looking at these women. But then I remembered, because I remember being in Hollywood one day, and You know, I was meditating on Hollywood with the homie. You know, we just meditating on Hollywood. You know, just doing crazy shit as we normally do. And someone told me that they had a friend that did heroin, right? They had a friend that did heroin, and every time he did heroin, again, this was not supposed to be about drugs, but you know, we gotta talk about it all, right? Anyway, he said every time he did heroin, you know, he would be able to knock a bitch, which is just street lingo. He would be able to get some pussy that night. Every time he did heroin, the pussy came to him. I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, yo, when I did LSD, I remember this vividly. I'm like, when I did LSD, it's like it's an ultimate fuck it that comes over you. The ultimate fuck it comes over you. This the ultimate fuck it. The ultimate fuck it. Cause so I pop, you know, again, yeah, I did DMT. DMT is a whole different experience. DMT, you not doing shit on DMT. You're not doing anything. You smoke that shit, you're gonna be glued to your seat for the next 20 minutes. DMT, you're not getting up, you're not walking around like LSD or cocaine. DMT is gonna have your ass glued. You're not doing anything. But let's stay on one topic, because we can talk about drugs all day. But again, this is not to encourage it. But if you with the shit, you with the shits. You know, because I don't think I've done drugs this whole year, other than, you know, being around people who did it. You know, because of course I've been fasting. At this point, I'm only eating one meal a day. I only eat one meal a day, like at 4 a.m. in the morning. Whatever. I only eat one time a day. But anyway, back to the LSD trip. So when I was on LSD, it's the ultimate fuck it. So it's like I felt the level of fuck it that I've never felt before. Because the whole intention, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this LSD, then I'm going to start fucking doing graffiti, right? This is my graffiti days. Hitting the streets, fucking tagging shit, right? Using that sword. You see that wrist action? Whoa. Anyway, that sword action. So the ultimate fucker came over me, right? I'm like, I'm about to graffiti the whole shit. I'm about to, like, and I don't give a fuck who's looking. But then this woman came up to us, cause it was me and a homie. This woman came up to us. She was a spirit. She came up to us and she asked, like, yo, what are you guys doing? She was like, yo, we're tripping off LSD. And she was like, yo, y'all lucky. I'm like, oh, what does she mean by that? I'm like, oh, she must know what this is. She's like, well, what are y'all planning? So I took the spray can out my hoodie and shit. I'm like, yo, we about to tag some shit up. She's like, all right, I'm gonna take y'all to where y'all can do with that. Then she started tagging with us and shit. I'm like, look at this real bitch. She's tagging shit with us. I'm like, oh, that's that LSD. It was at that level of fuck it starts to generate something in your aura that makes you highly attractive to the opposite sex. Boom, boom, boom. Don't do drugs, kids, but I'm just telling my experience. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. I have experienced that level of fuckiness. Or fuck it, I have experienced that level of fuck it. Then, you know, women start to, you know, be magnetized towards you type shit. Why? Because all of the shit that's in your mind that's telling you that you can't have women, that, you know what I mean, you gotta say the right things, all the shit that holds us back, that shit dissolves. And now you just do whatever the fuck. And they just let you do whatever the fuck, because you just that motherfucker at that particular moment. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So, it's a different type of experience. Alright. Anyway, since we're on the topic of drugs, DMT is a little different. My DMT experience was more so, okay, this is what happened. This is what happens, right? So you smoke that shit, right? You smoke that shit. And all of a sudden, all of the colors start getting more vivid. That's the first thing that happens. So you smoke that shit. See, you can't even smoke like, you know how you can smoke a whole joint or you can smoke like a whole blunt? You can't do that shit with DMT. It's like, I can't take more than 3 hits. 1, 2, you done. You done. There's nothing you can do. That shit burns out. It's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can do. So Like if I was looking at this thing right here, if I was looking at this, it would be super vivid. The colors start getting a lot more vivid, right? The colors start getting vivid. Then shit starts to move. So you start seeing like the golden ratio and shit. You start seeing geometrical patterns and shit. So you start standing still and everything starts moving around you, right? You start standing still. Like you're just sitting down. You can't stand up. If you standing up, you're gonna sit the fuck down. Again, DMT ain't something you just moving around, you just having a ball. Nah. Because DMT only lasts 20 minutes. For those who may not know, the DMT experience, it's a 20-minute high. I guess that's just like the same thing as crack or something. I think crack is like 20 minutes or some shit. I don't know. I've never done that. But who knows? I'm not even sure if that's accurate. Don't take my word for it. But it's 20 minutes. Then it's like after 20 minutes, it completely fades and you come right back to reality. It ain't really something that lingers, like LSD. Yeah, it's only 20 minutes. But what you see in that 20 minutes, it's like you die. you die for 20 minutes. But let me go through the experience. So you take your 3 puffs and the colors start getting more vivid. So shit that don't mean nothing starts becoming interesting. So shit that don't you just be looking at trees and nature and the clouds and shit. You like, yo, what the you start seeing it in a different way. You start seeing shit that don't mean nothing. Or that the shit that you see every day, you start seeing a different aspect of it. It start the layers of reality start peeling back. You like, yo, look at that fucking tree. Look at the greens. Look at the skin of that tree. Look at those lines. It's like the shit that you don't really care about, it starts to stand out. It starts speaking to you and shit. Then the shit starts moving. So you're completely still. Then everything else starts twisting and moving. So you looking like, yo, what the fuck? Shit starts moving around you, right? And after about a couple minutes of that, it's hard to keep your eyes open. You try to keep your eyes open, it ain't happening. You gotta close your eyes, right? You gotta close your eyes. Then it's just hard to explain. It's hard to explain it. It's like you have a whole. It's like you go out of your body. You have a point of consciousness. So let's just say that's your point of consciousness right here. Your point of consciousness. It goes out of your body, and that shit starts moving and shit. So your point of consciousness, it starts doing all this shit. Like you start moving, and then you start like, okay, what I saw like an infinite row of jinx. I said this before, but just in case nobody has seen it. Like if you think about the Pokemon Jinx, like just type that shit in, like Pokemon Jinx. I started seeing like 100 of these motherfuckers like lined up. You know how if you type in, I guess DMT art, you see like faces, then you see like an infinite row of faces and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? You start seeing infinite faces and shit. I'm like if you was not high, if you were not high, you would freak out. But the only thing that's like keeping you level is because you're on the DMT. For those who don't know, the pineal gland secretes DMT when you fucking dream. That's what makes dreams as vivid as they are, because the pineal gland is secreting DMT. For those who may not know that. So when you actually, do it, when you smoke it, or some people use a joint, some people use a pipe, whatever. Some people mix it with the weed. I mixed that shit with weed before. That actually, so I'll talk about that next if you was to mix it with something. But I'm just talking about the pure experience. So you just start seeing like an infinite row of shit, and your point of consciousness is, you're able to see it from all different angles. So for 20 minutes, you're able to move your consciousness and project your consciousness in a whole different reality. And you're just seeing shit that will blow your mind, but because you're under the influence, you're able to, maintain it. You're able to maintain it. So about 20 minutes, you're just doing all type of fly ass shit, but not from a body, but from a point of consciousness. Then you start to level back down, right? It's like your body gets it's like poison. It's like your body gets numb. You can't do nothing. It's 20 minutes of absolute purity. 20 minutes of absolute purity. but it ain't really something that it's not addictive. See, that's the thing with DM. That's the thing with DMT. It's not addictive. It's not addictive. You really don't wanna. It ain't gonna be something that you just wanna do every single day. Cause it's like, yo, the experience is just too powerful. The experience is too powerful. You're like, yo, I haven't did it since. I did that shit one time. I don't look forward to the next time. I'm like, yo, that ain't even something I look forward to. That's just a completely different shit. It's completely different. But if you were to mix it with your weed, it heightens it down a little bit. It's not as extreme. Cause I'm like, yo, I don't really like this shit. I'm like, this is too much. I'm like, yo, cause this is what happens. Like, you start thinking about your life in ways that make you feel bad. That shit had me feeling bad. It had me feeling bad. I'm not gonna lie. That shit had me feeling bad. In terms of, you just start thinking about, oh my damn, why the fuck am I in this situation? Why the fuck I'm not out on the strip right now? That shit start happening. Like, all the things you should be doing in your life that be roaming around in your head, that shit starts coming up. And you like, damn, why the fuck ain't I not doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that? And there's no excuse, right? There's no excuse. You can't think of an excuse. Like, damn, I'm holding myself back. You start feeling like that. You're like, damn, I'm holding myself back. I'm holding myself back. So that's what DMT, that's why, like, you don't look forward to it, because whatever you are doing wrong or you should be doing, it's going to come up and it's going to start kicking you in the ass. Like, yo, change your life. Stop with this fuck shit. Stop fucking surrounding yourself with nonsense. It's gonna really make you contemplate on, like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? I need to snap out of this illusion. It ain't no coming back from that. When you mix it down with the weed, it's not as intense. Like, for example, when I smoked it with the weed, I started staring at the clouds and shit. Then the sky started getting a real bluish. I started looking at the sky. I'm like, it looked like we in an aquarium, right? I'm smoking this shit. I'm like, it looks like we in an aquarium. It's like the clouds stop moving and shit. I'm looking up at the clouds. I'm like, yo, these clouds ain't moving. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at this cloud. I'm like, this motherfucker is not moving. And they look like fish. I'm like, that look like a fish. I'm like, we in a big fucking aquarium. You start getting those type of thoughts. I'm like, you start seeing real shit. Like, yo, we in a fucking aquarium for real. Like, there's H2O in the air. This is an aquarium, right? We know you got oxygen, you got H2O, right? I'm like, yo, we're breathing. We come from the water. I'm like, oh fuck. You start just contemplating on shit real heavily, but you get vivid imagery, and you don't wanna do nothing either. You know, you're just gonna kick back and you're just seeing vivid imagery. You can just be staring into the clouds, and you just like, yo, that shit is crazy. So I don't even know how we got on this shit, but dreams and devils, right? Dreams and devils. So, again, this isn't to say that drugs are cool, because you have to have a certain mind to understand what's happening to you. I couldn't imagine doing drugs and I wasn't spiritually minded. I could not imagine doing any of this shit without being spiritual. I'm like, yo, I probably wouldn't be able to comprehend. I'm like, oh, this is how some people go crazy, how some people be doing LSD and shit, and they never come back. But I admit, I have not been the same since that LSD experience, because that's when everything became real for me. See, that's what made the difference for me, because I was reading a lot of book information. I had a lot of book knowledge. But when I did that LSD, it all became real. It's like, that's when it became real to me. When it went beyond the books and the quantum physics and the metaphysics and the dark matter and the dark energy. You know, it's one thing to study these things. It's another thing to experience it. When I did the LSD, I started to experience all of the things. Everything came off of the books, and it started to project into reality. You feel a connectedness with everything. You don't feel separated from everything. You feel connected to everything. But every time I've done LSD, it's been different. It's different every single time, right? So, dreams and devils, right? you, for anybody who want to meet the devil is basically the white girl, right? The devil is a white girl. That's why most people stay away from that white shit. They can smoke all the weed they want, smoke all the tobacco they want, but that white girl, you start you what is that saying, right? Because they say, let's just say, I'm not just gonna say let me just give you an actual experience, right? Because I don't know. I think I get a high off of doing street shit. I don't know. I get a high off of just being in reality. I'll give you an example of what I'm speaking about. So, like when I was running the streets, I would always be at the library, right? So I was a dude in the streets, and I'll be in the library, just reading all these books on the internet, just elevating my mind. I'm like, I'm not gonna be in these streets doing dumb shit. I'm gonna enhance my mind because I know that this is a temporary situation. This is something I'm going through. This is not the end. So while I'm here, I might as well enjoy my fucking self. Let me elevate my mind, do what I do, stay on the righteous path. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. Keep the knowledge of self intact. Because I see everybody else, right? Because I look around. Cause it be certain like homeless people. They may be sleeping around the library. Of course, everybody knows this, right? But they be tormented. Cause I remember this one dude, like he was sleeping by the library, and he was like screaming and yelling, and cause I guess they go through withdrawals. I guess like when you do heroin and crack, or heroin, heroin or heroin, whichever is a correct way of saying that. I believe they go through a certain sickness. If they don't get the drugs, they go through a certain sickness, and they don't want to go through that sickness. So that's what keeps them, addicted to the drug. It's not necessarily the experience. It becomes they start getting tormented by them spirits. That white girl starts tormented. So it was like this white dude, he's like shivered up and shit, shaking and shit, and he just screaming and yelling. He's like being tormented. I'm like, yo, but ain't nothing going on. I'm like, yo, ain't nobody doing nothing to him. He's just like shivering, and he's saying the N-word, like, oh, nigger. Like, look at this white dude just being tortured by these nigga spirits because he keeps saying the N-word. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, these must be some nigga spirits. This is just what I saw and heard. Who knows? But they started getting tormented by them spirits with that white shit. And that's why it ain't for everybody. If you don't understand the way the spirit operates, see, this is what happens. Certain spirits demand certain things from you, right? And if you don't give them what they want, they will torment you, right? So that's why we see, people in the so-called streets, they do the most craziest shit. Not because they're bad people or whatever. It's because when them spirits take over, they have certain desires, and they will be met, or you will be tortured. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? That's you can say that's a lifestyle of a so-called crackhead or a spirit. Again, I don't like to disrespect them because I understand. And when you understand, they treat you differently. That's what I've noticed, right? Because I've been in these situations enough times, and again, it's clearly documented. Y'all didn't see me in a couple times, and again, it's before YouTube though. Some of it is before YouTube. But anyway, when you understand the spirits, it's like they have a different type of relationship with you. This is what I've noticed. Like, for example, like, there's only so much I can say. It's only so much I can say because I done seen so much. And I'm like, yo, it's just certain shit. And again, I done told y'all. I told y'all the time where I'm just at the bus stop chilling. I'm just at the bus stop chilling, minding my own fucking business. Then this white girl, she run up on me. You know what I mean? She want the black staff. She wants the black staff. I'm minding my own business. She run up on me. She was like, hey. I'm not even gonna repeat the words. I don't know what video I talked about it. I'm not gonna bring it up. But y'all know what I'm talking about. She wants the black staff. I'm like, I'm minding my own fucking business. But I'm not interested. But I'm like, I'm not interested. But she's not giving it up. She like, yo, she was like, she turned my face like this. I'm trying to, I'm trying to say like this, right? So she's right here. I'm trying to say, look this way. I'm just minding my own business. She's like, push my head like, yo, do you see me talking to you, motherfucker? Like, yo, don't try to ignore me. She's like, yo, you know what I want. I'm like, I do know what you want, but I don't think I'm the right one, to fulfill that prophecy. I'm not the one to fulfill the prophecy. I'm like, it's a lot of dudes who would actually, you know, it's a lot of dudes who will fulfill the prophecy. I'm like, I'm just not it. I'm not the one to fulfill the prophecy. But and I know the classical the classical views. I'm like, this is a whole different vibe. It's funny. But I'm like, yo, I'm like, if I was that type of dude, I would have took that down. I mean, I'm like, yo, if a woman is coming to use, I'm like, yo, I'm like, I could have made this bitch my hoe or anything. I'm like, I could have did some real wickedness, right? I could have did some. I could have did some real wickedness, but I'm like, yo, I'm here to understand, but this is what I mean by the streets. I recommend people to stay out the streets because you're gonna end up. It's gonna change you. Let me tell you. I'm giving y'all certain insights, but the shit changes you because you are subjected to a certain reality that you don't get exposed to when you are in the house. It's a certain reality. It's a certain things that you just will never see if you're not in that life. If you're not on the streets. Again, it's people that live on the streets, and their rules and regulations are very different than people who live inside of homes. Just imagine if you're living on the streets, you are hardened beyond recovery. Like when you have to sleep on concrete on a daily basis, it's a whole different type of reality. I remember, like, I would be sleeping on rocks. Right, I've done this so many times. Like I'll be sleeping on rocks because Vegas is a desert. It ain't really grass everywhere, especially when you're on the east side. Where the strip is. So I would be sleeping on rocks. I would be like under the airport. Like every 5 minutes, it's planes flying over my head. Every 5 minutes, and I'm just looking at the planes and shit. I'm just, laying on rocks and shit. Cause I'm like, you kind of have to. I'm not trying to even give y'all a tutorial to shit. Cause I don't recommend this. Again, like I done been through it. It's not something that you want to experience if you're not built for that type of reality. Cause you will have to engage in certain activities that put your moralism into question, as I'm saying with this woman. Again, like if I guarantee, if I been on the streets a lot longer, because at the time that this happened, at the time I probably was I was still fresh. But let's just say I had been in the streets maybe a year or some shit. I would have had a different response because I would have been hardened even more to the point where I'm like, yo, I can have my way with this woman because she's already letting me know who she is and what she's about. AKA the spirits are communicating through her to me like, yo, we want your sex, your sexual energy or your masculine energy. We want that. We need that. And we're going to do anything to get it. So I literally had to walk the fuck away. Because again, the woman's like, she pushed my head like this. Like, do you see me talking to you, motherfucker? I want that. I'm like, you know what? Oh my God, I had to get out of the area. Oh, like, this bitch is gonna rape me. She ain't taking no for an answer. But this is why I don't judge. Like I done been in situations where, again, it's like if you are in that primitive mind state, you will be tempted. And this is what I mean. That the devil is associated with the white girl. Like the devil start tempting you. Like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Trust me. If you are a certain type of individual, then the streets is the perfect place to be because it allows you to explore that dark side. Because everybody in the streets is exploring their dark side. If you are on the streets and living in the streets and have accepted that reality, that's like you accepting your dark side. And when you have accepted your dark side, then it's a whole different ball game, right? Whole different ball. It's Again, I can tell y'all some crazy wickedness. I mean, it's shit like I be sitting in the library and shit, minding my own fucking business. Then you know you got motherfuckers who will just run up on you real smooth and shit. You know what I mean, try to sit next to you and shit. They're like, hey, you know, you I don't really know which way you roll, but you know, hey, you need your dicks up because that's the way. That's what they do, and that's they just campaign. And I'm like, I'm not with that whatsoever. They're like, hey, you know, I got the drugs. I got this, I got that. Motherfuckers act like, hey, you get wet, you get high. You know, motherfuckers got all type of drugs in the streets. They be fucking. They got they call that shit. They got the needles and shit. They're ready for action. I'm like, oh, this is how they get down. See, if you are not in the streets, then you don't really know the secrets. You don't really, of course, everybody. All right, well, streets and drugs that goes together, but how deep this shit goes, well, it's like going to jail and you just you amongst men all fucking day. Then some dudes break like fuck it. Like if you gonna be in jail the rest of your life, if you ain't gonna get no pussy no more, then you know you switch sides. And, you know that's just a reality that you have to accept because you're like, yo, man, anyway, I didn't even want to take it there, but it is what it's. It's a whole different reality. It's a whole different reality, and if you're not built mentally to withstand the temptation, then you will get sucked into the vortex. And I'm not even saying it's a bad thing to get sucked into the vortex if you know how to command the spirits, but most people don't, so they get tormented. Like I've been saying. Excuse me. So most people on the streets are tormented by that white girl, right? So it will suck you in. Like for example, I done been around motherfuckers who done shot needles, who do K2. For those on the East Coast, y'all know about K2, especially New York. Y'all know about that K2. I didn't know what the fuck K2 was. Like K2. I've never heard that. Like that ain't no West Coast shit. Like yeah, it's on the East. I'm like, oh, when I went to New York, that K2 buddy. I just saw motherfuckers. It's motherfuckers that ran up on me. Motherfuckers like, yo, you got a pipe? I'm like, you know, cause I would use a pipe, cause you know when I was in New York, I'm like I'm not gonna spark up a blunt, cause the weed is illegal here, so I'm gonna use a pipe. You know, all you gotta do is take one puff, blow the smoke out. It ain't like you just walked around with the blunt in hand and all that. You know, just a certain way of moving depending on where you are. So you know, you got motherfuckers running up on you like, yo, you got a pipe. So I'm thinking like I'm thinking he about to smoke some weed. I'm like yeah, you know. This is what this is for. Motherfuckers start sprinkling some white shit in there. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know you were talking about that. Well, dude, that motherfucker became a different person. I didn't see this shit up close. Motherfucker took a hit of that pipe. Motherfucker became spiritual. Not spiritual like as a guru. Spiritual as in, he like, yo, let's get some money. I'm like, how do you expect to do that? He like, yo, I know exactly what to do. I'm like, oh, the spirit is fucking in this dude. This motherfucker started walking around finessing motherfuckers. And I'm with him because I'm like, yeah, I want to see what this. Let me see what he's gonna do. I'm like, he's in the spirit. You know, he's possessed right now. Let me see how this gonna play out. You know what I mean? He started finessing motherfuckers out their cash and shit. I'm like, look at this motherfucker. Then he started speaking to me. He like, yo, he like the secret to it is you gotta have the magic eye to know who got the money and who don't. Like it's a certain eyesight you gotta have. I'm like, yeah, this is coming directly from the spirit. Cause obviously this nigga wasn't talking nothing about this shit before he hit that pipe. Motherfucker was trying to. I'm like, yo, this. I'm like, oh, that white girl. See, you know that spiritual possession is a whole different reality. So this is what I mean. What is the damn, I done been on here a fucking hour. This is, oh man. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this because this is very personal. Y'all see I don't even got no shirt on. This is how vivid the dreams are. I can fucking tell. I can't even put no shirt on. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, I gotta calm down. But anyway, so I didn't been up close with it, I didn't been up close. I didn't seen it, So it's like normal to me. It is what it is. But that was my point. So yeah, when when y'all would see me, doing all that streak shit, it's more so me trying to normalize reality. So I'm like, this is a reality, and this is the way of life. It's the same way, the same reason I be talking about all that, you know, the the pimp shit, the whole shit, the game, the life, the rules of the game, so on and so forth. Cause I'm like, yo, this is the reality. Cause everybody else is talking about spiritual shit, but they ain't talking about real shit. So I mix it. So I give y'all some spirituality, then I give y'all some reality too. I give y'all everything in the mixing bowl, so y'all can have a clear understanding. Just in case you was curious. You was curious about drugs. You was curious about how motherfuckers survive in the streets and how they live their life on a day-to-day basis. Like I didn't see women like they have like clothes on that they created themselves type shit. They have like clothes that they created themselves, and I'm like, God damn. I'm like, did she create that outfit herself? And she apparently did. So I'm like, obviously, the drugs don't have her crazy enough to the point where she's just walking around this bitch naked. She at least have the decency to cover herself up, even though she looks like she's insane. But she isn't insane enough to the point where she's just walking around with her ass and titties out. She at least is covered up. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh, when they do the drugs, it's a spirit that comes over them that has a higher intelligence that guides them. So they're being guided by a higher intelligence. So most people, they just see drug addicts. But I see spirits. To me, that's what a drug addict is. It's a spiritual being who has given up their physicality. They have become one with the spirit. So that's what, like, again, I'll be walking past motherfuckers and they say some shit that I was thinking. I'll be thinking some shit in my mind. I walk past a spirit and they say that shit to me. As if they just read my mind. I'm like, what? How the fuck did they? Why? Like, I was just thinking about this shit. Clearly, it's a higher intelligence. You know what I mean? I'll be thinking about some Babylon shit, right? I'll be thinking about some real wickedness, because my mind, I'll be thinking about all types of insaneness. Because, this is just what I do. I have to explore all type of shit, right? And the fucking spirit has said that shit, like, yo, Babylon, they scream that shit out. Babylon, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I was just thinking about this shit. But right, they are being used as vessels, right? So I understand. I'm like, okay, we have a part to play. If you consider yourself spiritual, then where are the spirits? Oh, you consider. Let me get close up now. Yo, y'all consider yourself spiritual? Oh, go amongst the spirits for real and see how you fare. See how you fare against the real spirits. All my so-called spiritualists. See how you fare amongst the real spirits. See how spiritual you are. Can you fare amongst real spirits? See how you fare. Because fuck all that meditation, fuck all that yoga. How can you fare in reality where it ain't nothing but spirits everywhere who can pick up on your thoughts, who have a higher intelligence? Because I'm like, oh, wait a minute. If I want to be honest, when I was telling y'all about the girl who just ran up on me and shit, I was thinking very primitively at that time, because you in the streets. That's what I'm saying. I didn't seen some shit. Like, I'm like, oh man. Like, for example, you know what I mean? Like, for example, I'll be walking around. I be looking for spots. I be looking for spots to rest and shit. I'm like, I be walking around. So I see this little fence and it's a little opening. I'm like, okay, I can kind of duck off in here. You know what I mean? Let me duck off in here, get a little meditation in. Because I don't like to just be amongst people and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, let me go off somewhere in the cut, get me a little meditation in, and I'll come back to reality. So I may duck off in the cut, not knowing that I just entered into somebody's fucking home. But it's their outside home. I didn't enter into somebody's fucking house and shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't no problem. Because it was a respect thing, because they know who the fuck I am. Not physically. But spirits know you because you have a certain aura. and you're not judging them. Because I was like, yo, I'm right here with you, motherfucker. So I'm not above you. I'm right here with you, sleeping on the ground, right with your fucking ass. So it ain't no problem. And I'm like, if I have anything, I'm giving it to you. So I would, I'm like, yo, I'm in somebody's fucking house, but I got the snacks and shit. I got snacks and shit. I got gifts, cause I'm thinking ahead. Again, you gotta feed the spirits, goddammit. All right. So I'm like, yo, I'm in somebody's house, but they're like, yo, like they're like, what's up? He's like, you ain't got no, don't worry about nothing. It's cool. I got some cookies and shit, cause I'm always a person where I'm not just gonna let myself starve. I'm not gonna let myself, just fall victim. So like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm fed. I'm gonna make sure that the money is coming in. I'm not just gonna let myself fall the fuck off. But everybody doesn't think like that. So I bear gifts. I'm like, yo, I got some food for you. Whatever you need, here, take all of it, cause I'm just gonna find some more shit. It is what it is. So it was like this woman, right? And again, it's just shit that you don't want to see. You know what I mean? Where like I saw this woman before, and she had like these brown pants and shit, and she had like blood stains all on the pants. I'm like, fuck, is she on her period? This is just shit you don't want to see. So she's walking around in public with blood stained fucking pants. I'm like, oh my fucking god, I need to get the fuck out of here. I gave her, like, here, take all of it. You will never see me again. Like, it turns your fucking stomach. I'm like, But this is just the reality, right? It is what it is. Right, this shit got me fucking itching. Bringing back memories and shit, but again, if this keeps you out of the streets, then it should keep you out the streets. Again, this ain't to say that you should be involved. But if you tough, if motherfuckers, you really tough, then go out amongst the spirits. Spend a week on the streets and see how you fare. Leave your money at home. Leave your resources at home. Go out into the streets and see how you fare amongst motherfuckers who's out there every single day. See how you fare. But of course, most people are not going to do that because they still dealing with fear. But when you don't have any fear, then you realize that, oh, these people are not stupid, right? So when they do, why are you not wearing a shirt? I thought this was my channel. You see, like, yo, how are you? Is this not my channel? Why are you here? Why are you asking me why I'm not wearing a shirt? It ain't like I'm showing nipples and shit. Yo, you want to see a nipple? I mean, I can show you a nipple, but I'm not. If you don't like what you see, then this is not porn. Well, check out of the chat room, please. Be decent, all right? No, I'm not putting the shirt on. So if you don't want to see it, then I feel bad for you because there's nothing you can do about it. You can't make me put the shirt on. So the only thing you can do is leave or just keep complaining. Like, we've been on here a full hour. You know what I mean? It is what it is, though. But you see, when that real shit starts getting spoken, when that real shit starts, you see that motherfuckers trying to throw off the vibe and shit. Like, y'all didn't know? Like, look, trust me, I got weaponry. We got moderators, that will snipe your ass. Yeah, keep talking shit, then you realize that you blocked. All right? But it is what it is. He said, show him a skull. Look, again, everybody don't know who I am. We'll just let them figure it out, right? It may be a couple new viewers. They don't know about this shit, so they'll figure it out soon enough. So, welcome to the clan. Welcome to the clan. But you have no idea what you walked into. But nonetheless, I think y'all get it. Look at this dude. Put a shirt on, or I'm gonna get you banned. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody stopping you from, why are you threatening me? Just do it. Just do it. Hit the report button. Say, oh, he's exposing himself. Just do it. Ain't nobody stopping you. It is what it is, He just don't know who we are. Or she, whoever the fuck. But we got moderators in here, and you know, you will get dealt with if I say the word, or I can just do it myself. So, y'all know. But I did purposely not put a shirt on just to piss people off. You know. But I see everybody tuning in. So let me get a little closer to the camera so I can see what y'all saying now. I done said my piece. Y'all know what it is. Stay out the streets unless you built. You know what I mean? Unless you want to test your courage, your bravery, your solar plexus. You know what I mean? You want to see how you fare in a real reality. Then, you know, see what the streets have to offer. If you brave. If not, you know, keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? Everybody have a certain path to walk. Here we go. Here we go. Why are you typing? Oh, you're gonna lose your 10K subscribers. Okay, sure. Sure. Do what you do. Stop typing. Get the fuck on. Report me. Whatever. Not knowing, like, you realize that the most viewed video on my channel is me with my shirt off. Of course, they don't know that. My most viewed video on YouTube, I didn't have a shirt on. And I did that 4 years ago. 4 years ago. My channel is still up. Why? Because I'm not showing nipples and shit. You think this is you know. The trolls had to come out at some point, right? The trolls had to. You see what I'm saying? So for everybody, y'all see, we normally don't have problems. You know, we didn't been going live, right? We normally don't have any problems. But yeah, when I start showing the melanin, I start showing the melanin, motherfuckers get uncomfortable. You don't like the melanin? You don't like the melanin? What can I say? Sometimes you gotta show the melanin. Tell your freaking mods not to put me on timeout. Well, you see, I can have you blocked at any moment. But you see, I'm letting you ride because, you know, we having fun. I'm letting you ride. You get your shine, you know, get your shine on whoever you are, you know. Subscribe to the dude, whatever you're trying to get out of it. Since you keep typing, whatever you're trying to get out of it, get it. I'm not even going to block you. Cause I'm just gonna let people see. Yeah, when the melanin is popping, then motherfuckers got something to say. Every time I come on here with my shirt on and I'm speaking reckless, don't nobody have nothing to say. They start seeing that black skin. Oh man. No, that's all good. Like I said, this is a live stream after all, so. Like I could disable the comments right now if I wanted to, but we cool, we rocking. Yeah, yo, cover yourself up, boy. It is what it is. You know, cause we know everybody's grown here, right? Well, hopefully you're grown. But it is what it is, you know. At the end of the day, like I said, it's a reason why I don't have a shirt on. Like I'm prepared. I'm prepared. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Don't make it a black and white thing. Well, he's making it a black and white thing. He just called me a boy. He started with the shit, not me. I was minding my own fucking business. I'm minding my own business. But you know, it's always gonna be a race thing. It's gonna be a race thing. That's just the way America is. So let's not pretend. Welcome to America. It's always gonna be a race thing. So I guarantee if I was a white dude, motherfuckers wouldn't be saying a goddamn thing. But, you know, I love to piss people off, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm the ultimate troll. Don't get it twisted. I am the ultimate troll. I start fucking jiggling my nipples, but I'm not gonna purposely get the video blocked. Cause even if someone's reported like, yo, I'm not showing no nipples, you only see, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It ain't like I'm showing, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna do all that. I can be butt ass naked right now, but I'm not gonna fucking swing my dick in front of the camera. It is what it is. So, YouTube can't ban you from showing the upper part of your chest. You know what I mean? Alright, here we go. We get a little closer. Let me see what y'all got going on. Here we go, see? Alright, we can talk, y'all want to talk about race and color? Y'all really want to have this conversation? We can have a conversation. We can have a conversation. But y'all don't want to have a race conversation. Y'all don't want it. You will lose. You will lose. You can't have the conversation. There's no way for you to win. I'm sorry. You can't win the conversation. Because we know where we are. History shows itself. History shows itself. It's impossible to have a conversation, right? It's impossible to have a conversation. It's impossible for people to say don't make it a race thing when it has been racist the entirety of the country. Ever since motherfuckers invaded the Americas and fucked the Indians over. Y'all want to go through the history? Y'all really want to go through the history? It's always going to be about race. You can't separate it. This ain't fucking China where everybody looks the same. No, I don't mean that to disrespect the Chinese, but this ain't the same. I have a conversation with you only if you wear a shirt. No. I don't know what makes you think I want to have a conversation. You can't have it. You know what your people did. You know what I mean? You know what your people did. Period. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm taking my fucking shirt off. And it ain't going on. America was never great. Nah. See this? Let me fuck people up right now. Hold on. I got something for y'all. But let me make sure I don't show nipples and shit. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'll put on my motherfucking Trump hat right now. I'll put the fucking Trump hat on. Just to let y'all know, I'm not anti-white. I got a Trump hat, you know what I mean? I fuck with the president. You know what I mean? I could put on my Trump robe and all that. So it ain't, and y'all done seen it, you know what I mean? I be rocking my Trump hat and shit, and it is what it is. My white people brought you from poverty of Africa and introduced to the American dream. You see? That's how they think. So yeah, I'm entertaining it to expose it. Alright. What's up, Dragon OG? Y'all clearly see I got the moderators on deck. So I can shut this shit down at any point. Alright? But it is what it is. Y'all clearly see. Y'all see I can shut them down at any time. But I'm entertaining it to expose it. I expose it. Cause it don't do nothing. Like, you know, it is what it is. But they can't have a conversation. Cause that's how they think. So he or she, whoever the fuck this is, they represent the majority. Most of them think the same way. Oh, we did something for you guys as if we was not already here. Oh, y'all forgot about the Olmecs. Y'all forgot about the Mayans. Y'all forgot about the Aztecs. Those were not Native Americans. But you know, you start speaking that real history, they don't have a leg to stand on, right? Everybody press dislike. Like, dude, you're new here. Like, this is my audience. Everybody here already know what I'm about. They already know it. I'm with the shit. You're the new guy. Dude, we just having a little fun though. We just having a little fun. Maybe they need to hear that lecture in their sleep. Nah, see, there's no reforming. Right? There is no reforming a person who feels that they are superior. There is no lecture that they're going to watch to come to the realization that they're not. But you know, they have in their mind like, yo, we did something for people. Like, yo, you didn't do nothing but kill and pillage. You know? Got the Snoop Dogg shoulders. That's funny as fuck. Ooh. Who is this dude? What question are you asking, man? Someone like, yo, you're entertaining him and not ask him the question. What question are you asking? What question are you asking? Said I got the Snoop Dogg shoulders. That's funny. I'll take that. I'll take that. You know, we enjoy. You see, I'm just sipping on my tea. It's all good. Like I said, it's not reform. You can't reform a person that already feels they're superior. There's no reforming. It ain't no history that like, oh, since I read this book, I changed my perspective. It don't work like that. It never worked like that. These motherfuckers burn libraries. Alexander the Great type motherfuckers, right? So we just let them expose themselves because we already know who they are. And again, I'm not talking about all. I'm not even gonna call them white people, Caucasian. Let me call you what you are, fucking Caucasian. Not all Caucasians are with the fuck shit, but a lot of them are. So the ones who's with the fuck shit, then, you know, I'm with the fuck shit too. I'm with all the smoke. And again, I'm not about to block nobody. Okay, hold on. Let me answer this question, dude. Let me see. I appreciate that. Manifest are now eternal. I appreciate that, you know. Y'all see, you know, we stand in positive vibes. You know, we ain't tripping off of it because we already know. See, when you know who you are, we ain't tripping. I asked you several times, do you believe in the devil? I am the devil. Did I not make the video how to be a devil on earth? I made the video. I made the video how to be. I told you. I said if there ever was a devil on the planet, it would be me. I already laid down that science. Go back to 2017. How to be a devil on earth. I already laid down the science. But you know, for those who may not have known that. So yeah, if there ever was a devil, I am not. And I know that. And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. If for those who may think I'm kind of jumping a little bit overboard with that, let me tell y'all what I'm talking about. Because when I went to Devil's Gate, and I also did that video earlier this year. Not this year. I'm thinking it's still 2018. We're in the new year. I did the video in 2018. Remember the video I did? I had a conversation with the devil. Or Ishu, that's the name of the video. Type in, I had a conversation with Ishu, aka the devil. I already laid down the facts. I already told y'all. I went to Devil's Gate. For those who don't know what Devil's Gate is, just type it in Google's. One of the portals to hell. Right? I done been there. I went there. And I asked the devil himself. I'm like, who is the devil? I asked. I'm like, who are you, motherfucker? And the motherfucker's like, who do you think I am? Like, if there ever was a devil, it would be your black ass. Not because I'm evil or sinister or wicked. You know what I mean? We're not speaking like that. We're speaking about Ishu. But again, most people have not studied enough to really follow along. So even when I'm speaking this, they're like, Ishu, who is Ishu? They, you know what I mean? They haven't really connected the dots. The trickster spirit. Right? Black people sell drugs, and the government doesn't. Like the government didn't sell drugs to fund their wars. You remember when Jesus came into that chat? Yeah, like I did a video. What was the name of that video? I think it was called Witchcraft and Satanic Rites or some shit. Right? All black people have a criminal past. Well, I guess that doesn't include me. I haven't been to jail a day in my life. I don't have a record, so. But this is what I mean. You see the generalizations that are made. But you know, again. One of the moderators. I see you, Dragon OG. Dragon OG like, nah, we fuck that dude. That's funny. Issue not devil facts. Yeah, exactly. See, for those in the know, y'all know exactly what I'm speaking about. And that's why I said, because I guess the question was already asked, what is hell? Hell, it all depends. If you're looking at it from a religious sense, it just means the underworld or the underground, right? And we know that Osar is Lord of the underworld. So we're talking about hell, we're talking about the underworld, right? Okay. You know, everybody's free to have their opinion. You know, like I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. Cause that's not my goal, right? It's not to convince anybody of anything. It's just to speak facts. But you see, you know, when we start speaking them facts, the trolls start coming out of the woodwork. Y'all, again, for my regular viewers, y'all see, normally we don't have problems, but you know. But at the end of the day, we strapped up. We strapped up. We warriors. So we in tune with the currency. We in tune with the history. So it ain't nothing nobody can say. Now they say issue is Caucasian terminology. All right, you can say that. Cool. Like I said, I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. You know. But there's no such thing as Caucasian terminology. Just to make that clear, there's no such thing as Caucasian terminology. Asha, what is this entity, King Fortune? When did you decide to merge and teach? Oh, King Fortune is just... All right, so let me make that clear. Because I don't think I have made that clear. But I'll make it clear for those who are curious. Sure, no problem. Because obviously this channel was called AshaRenu, right? Before it was called Amon AshaRenu, right? For those who've been around long enough. It went from Amon AshaRenu to AshaRenu. And we know, for those who don't know, Amon AshaRenu is another way of saying the King of Kings. That's just what that means. That means the King of Kings. You know, the Amon Ra, you know, the King of Kings, the equivalent to Zeus, right? For those who may not know. So Amon Ra is the equivalent to Zeus. So before it was Zeus, before, you know, Greek mythology, it was Egyptian. So it was the Amon Ra, you know? So Amon AshaRenu is essentially just the same thing of saying the God of gods, the King of Kings. That's what it means. So the King Fortune came into play in the sense of, you could say AshaRenu is a title, right? AshaRenu is a title. So when I say King Fortune, it's just another title. I have many titles. Again, you know, Zephyr. How many titles? I got Zephyr, Lord Asar. Again, AshaRenu. Exactly. It's all titles. It's all titles. You can say it's different spirits. You wouldn't be wrong. It says different spirits, different entities, different titles, different attributes. But that's how I say it. You know, it's different attributes of the same one being. That's all it is. Exactly. In my Nigerian native tongue, the devil is referred to Ishu, so it is not Caucasian. Again, that's what I mean. For those in the know, they already know. For those in the know, they already know. For those not in the know, then they don't even understand what I'm talking about. Just like anybody saying, "Oh, that's Caucasian terminology," but you just a Nigerian native just said Ishu comes from there, so is what I mean. So that Caucasian terminology, you don't know it. Let the Nigerian native school you. They just said it like that. Ain't you don't know what you're talking about, but you know it's all love. But you gotta have a little knowledge under your belt to comprehend. Exactly. Let those who have ears listen. You gotta have a little knowledge under your belt to comprehend. Like there's no such thing as Caucasian terminology. Just like some people say like English is a Caucasian language or they invented English. Caucasians didn't invent any goddamn thing. You know what I mean? How did you invent something and you have only been around for 6,000 years? That's all I'm saying. It's no disrespect. Because again, you know, I'm not anti-white, but when they start busting them shots, you know, we gotta bust them shots right back. But we not speaking from emotion. See, I'm not getting emotional. We speaking facts. You know what I mean? We ain't gotta get all puffy and all that. Oh fuck you. We ain't doing all that. We speak facts. You know what I mean? We solid with the facts. So it is what it is. That's why I'm telling y'all, issue. That's why you don't see me say devil. I say issue. I had a conversation with Ishu. I study as well. So if you study, then you would know that Ishu has nothing to do with a Caucasian. If you study, you would know that. But since you're saying the opposite, then I'm not saying you don't study. But whatever your sources are inaccurate. Just correct your studies. You know what I mean? It is what it is. First couple shots need to go to the barber. Oh, y'all see that? Yeah. No, yeah. I did this on purpose. I hope y'all know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a regular dude. I'm not a regular dude. I don't mind looking weird or looking crazy. You know what I mean? This is this. Y'all just don't know who y'all fucking with. Like, you know, I do this on purpose. Like, hey, yo, what happened? I did it myself. I did it. You know what I mean? I'm not really big on hair. You know what I mean? I cut all this shit off. I'm not concerned with that. But hold on, I see a lot of questions is coming in, so you know I say, you know, we with the shits. But hold on. The realest motherfucker out here. I appreciate that, Smooth. Y'all already know. You know what I mean? What's your opinion on Christianity? Original Christianity is fine. Gnosticism. You know, Gnosticism, I have no problem with that. But the religion of Christianity as we know it today is just a watered down version of Gnosticism. So that's my opinion on Christianity. Just watered down Gnosticism. You should make this live. You should make this stream every Sunday morning. It's better than church. Absolutely. Y'all see, I've been doing videos a lot more often. So that's what it is. You know, for the 2019, I've been dropping them. Have you even been keeping up with the videos? I've been dropping them like every day, and I've been dropping them for the website. For those who are on the website, I've been dropping articles and videos on a daily basis. And ain't no more every 3, 4, or 5 days. Exactly. I've been going in. Y'all see, we 90 minutes in. We going in. That's what that fasting do, though. That's what that fasting do. I said no drugs. You know what I mean? I'm not smoking. No weed, no alcohol. Again, just little dabbing here and there. But you know what I mean? This is completely sober mind. You know what I mean? It's only lemonade. You know what I mean? Got a case of water right here. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We cooling. All natural. But hold on, I think I missed a question. Hayashi, your website is cool. Do you think you're someone reincarnated that we would know? You ain't got to say who. I think so. I think so. Because obviously there's not really many people who is with the shits. But I'm not saying that to say that I'm special. Because obviously, as I speak, people can understand me. So obviously, I'm not the only one. So it's not like I'm speaking a different language or anything like that. So the fact that I can communicate and people can resonate with what I say, meaning like this is a collective thing. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm here for the collective. It ain't about me bigging my chest up, bumping my chest. I'm special with everybody else is not. Nah. I mean, we all are part of the same soul group. That's all it is. You know what I mean? We all are older souls. If you even resonate with this information, we are all older souls. So when I say I'm reincarnated, I don't say that like I'm special. I'm above anyone else. Like I said, we not dealing with the ego. Unless y'all want me to be in the ego. But it is what it is. What type of music you meditate to? The type of music I go on right now, the classical music. Just put on classical music. Can I fast with smoking weed and drinking fluids? If you built, it's going to be a little harder, but not impossible. It's a little harder, but when you smoke weed, you're probably going to want to drink water, because it dries your mouth out. Then when you drink water, then it's going to make you want to eat, so if you can handle it, then go ahead. But most of the time when you fast, I'm talking about not drinking or eating anything. I'm not just talking about just drinking water. I'm talking about no eating or drinking anything. You kind of don't want to smoke weed, right? You have an IG. Yeah, I made a new Instagram. It's called Mr. Diviner. Mr. Diviner. You know what I mean? Not MR, but MISTRDIVINER. Mr. Diviner. That's also the Facebook too. Facebook and Instagram, Mr. Diviner. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing on there yet. It ain't nothing on the Instagram. I just made the Instagram. If you want to follow it, cool. But I literally just made it probably yesterday. I'm gonna try to do some things with the IGTV, so on and so forth. But Mr. Diviner. Mr. Diviner, MISTERDIVINER, Mr. Diviner, aka Mr. Fortune Teller, Fortune King. It's the same thing, just using different words, but it's all the same energy. Let me make sure I got it. Can we put an amethyst on my third eye when I sleep and have similar effects to the orgone or other crystals? I definitely encourage you to experiment. Is it going to equate to the same experience? Probably not. But try it out. Because it may. It all depends. It all depends on the crystal. It all depends on the quality of the crystal. You know what I mean? It's all factors that you have to comprehend, right? So use the tools that you have available to you. If you don't have access, you got to save up to the next paycheck. Again, 20, 30 bucks, very inexpensive. But Oregon technology is where it's at. Is it a good idea to create servitors? Yeah, if you're really trying to work magic in the underworld, in terms of if you want to have entities on the other side working on your behalf, absolutely. Meaning you want to have little, I'm not gonna say little. If you want to have like sexual experiences with deities and shit, you want to do some fly shit in the astral world, then absolutely, right? Where is the videos of weaponizing the phallus? It's called Yoni and Phallus Domination. Yeah, I saw the notification. I appreciate that. Do we have to purify the crystal? That would be nice. But that's the thing. That's the difference between crystals and orgone. You can purify crystals with orgonite or orgone. This can purify crystals. You know what I mean? So that's the difference between the orgone and the crystals. Yeah, you got to purify the crystals, but this in and of itself can purify the crystals. So it's kind of a different type of technology. All right? But Work with what you have. If you don't have anything, just fast. And I do believe I was having those dreams because again, I only eat one time a day. So when I actually lay down to sleep, I don't have anything in my system, no food or no water. So that's to me, that's why I was just super extreme because I didn't have anything in my system. So just take that into consideration as well. This is what I mean by it has to be a full lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's deeper than just meditating with crystals and you gotta fast, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? There's a dude that is dope with the orgonite. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like there's several people that can do real fly shit. Can make I think you can get customized organites and all that. All depends on how much bread you want to put down. Right? Start my third day dry fast Tuesday. Good luck. What do you think about King Solomon? That's the homie. You know what I mean? He controlled the demons. Y'all know I fuck with those demons. So King Solomon is a homie, but it's not just the lesser keys of Solomon, which is the 72 Goetia. The 72 Goetia are the lesser keys of Solomon, but then you have the greater keys of Solomon, which is the angelic being. So use them both. Don't just focus on the Goetia, but focus on the angelic beings as well. Be balanced. So you got the 72 demons and the 72 angels. I make my own organite. Oh, there you go. You know what I mean? Check out Dragon OG. So if anybody who needs some organite or Oregon, fuck with Dragon OG. Fuck with the big homie. You know what I mean? He'll get you right. You know what I mean? Definitely Dragon OG. You can definitely send me a couple of your pieces. You know what I mean? I'll advertise it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Work with it. See what it do. However y'all want to play it. That's no problem because I know this shit works. I know it works. That's why y'all be seeing me with it. I put it on my crown. I put it on my third eye. Put it on the throat. It clears up. It opens up the chakras to do everything. You know what I mean? This is like it's a tool that does everything. Any blockage, it do all that. You know what I mean? You having stomach problems, put it on your stomach. You know what I mean? Some people be having like throat problems, whatever. Put it on your throat. Clear all that up. You know. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's with the fasting, because I know it's not the easiest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do, especially when you still got to get up and you got to go to work. You got to take care of your family. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but it's the path of the warrior. It's the path of the warrior. You know what I mean? So shout out to all the true warriors who are willing to make that sacrifice for the betterment of not only themselves but their entire environment, so that they can see the true reality. Right? Put some organite in my front yard. It disappeared within the week. Yeah, like protect these. You know what I mean? Protect these. These are gems. Protect them. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing like this. It's nothing like this. It's nothing like the organite or the organ. The organ is the equivalent to sexual energy. Organ just really means sexual energy. That's really what it means. So this is like sexual energy, compiled into technology. There's some real amazing stuff. Like, you would see like the Egyptians holding the Ankh, like the pharaohs, and when you look at the walls, you see the Egyptians holding the Ankh. That's pretty much what they're talking about. That's funny. 40 days and nights without food. That ain't magic. That's called living in the projects. Well, I don't know too many motherfuckers in the projects that's fasting for 40 days. They not built like that. So yeah, that ain't. I don't know who these project people are who's fasting for 40 days. They ain't built like that. You know what I mean? No, I don't know nobody. I don't know a single soul physically who's fasted for fucking 40 days and cool with it. Like, if they do have to fast, it's like they're suffering because they don't want to. See, there's a difference between you doing something because you have to, because of your situation. It's another thing when you make the conscious choice to fast, because you put yourself in a different type of mentality. It's different when you just don't have any food. Like, I don't eat because I don't have any food. It's different than you make the conscious decision to abstain from the food, and you can clearly eat it. So you're not doing it because of your circumstance. You're doing it to manifest the internal outwardly. right? It's a whole different mentality. Like, this is what I mean. It's a full science. So it's not just that act of fasting, it's also the mentality you have when you fast. Because if you don't have the right type of mentality, then you're not going to be able to make it to an extended fast, because you just want to eat. You're going to want to go back to whatever you was doing. So it take the mental science as well as the physical science, and that's what enhances and amplifies the spiritual energy. It has to be a holistic thing, and that's why I always say it's a holistic science. So the dreams is just as important as what you do when you are awake. They are one and the same. You know what I mean? There's no separation. The dreams show you the things that you need to know. The dreams show you the places and the steps that you need to take. The dreams literally guide you through. You have any question that needs to be answered, you take it to the dream world. You take it to the Akashic records. Anything you need to be answered, then the dream will show you a scenario that answers the question, but it's speaking in code, and you got to decode it. You know, that's what I mean. It's a full science, so you gotta piece it all together. You gotta piece it all together. The low magic and the high magic. So you got the magic that gets you the spiritual information. You got the magic that helps you to build on the physical plane as well. That's why you fuck with the demons and the angels. That's why the devil is also called the light bearer or the Lucifer, right? As they say, Satan was a fallen angel. That's what that science is talking about. So that means he is part angelic, part demonic. He is both. Just like they say, you got the devil on one shoulder, you got the angel on another shoulder. That's what that means. It's like we pull from both sides. You know what I mean? We don't have to focus on just the bad or the negative or the good, you know what I mean? But that's what most people do. Either they fuck with the dark or they fuck with the light. Merge them together so that it becomes holistic. That's the true science. The true science is utilizing the underworld and the heavenly realms and the demonic realms. That's why it says Allah is the Lord of all worlds. And again, Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, the human body. The Lord of all worlds. That means the angelic and the demonic, right? The angels and the demons, the jinn and the angels. However you want to put it, right? It's a complete science. So this is why they try to separate it, where you got people who just talk about demons, they ain't never talking about the light, or people who just talk about the light and don't talk about the dark. You need to merge it together. It has to be one science, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different type of sciences. Merge them all together into one science, right? So let me see. Is your website only for the beginner getting into the occult? No, so the website is more so for advanced people. I would say the beginners, this is what the YouTube is for. The YouTube is for the beginners. I'm not really speaking advanced stuff publicly. The website is for the true students, where you like to read, you like to know people throughout history who have brought this occult information, and the people that you can work with. You know, like I have list of alchemists, I have list of occultists. You know, the people who have played a role of bringing this information to the forefront, regardless of their skin color, regardless of their tradition. You know, people that you can actually work with. The same way we work with spirits, we can work with the occultists and the alchemists. So the website is more so for people who want more intricate knowledge. So you want more of a direct path. Like you want to work with Chinese immortals or Japanese immortals, European immortals, American immortals. It's more so it's giving you more detailed science. You know what I mean? Plus, you know, you get more of my written, you know, it's more of my pen. So you hear my voice on the YouTube. The website is more, you get more of the pen, you know what I mean? My writing skills, then just information that I have compiled, like information that has been useful to me. I share all that. I share information that was useful to me. I'm putting out my own information, then I'm putting out exclusive videos, and I'm constantly building on a daily basis, you know, constantly building. So it's more so for the advanced minds, for those who want to take it a step further. So if you enjoy the videos, then, you know, sign up for the website. It's only $5 a month. You know, keep it affordable, $5 a month. It's more so if you want to support the channel. The whole purpose of the website is me giving something back. So I don't want people just to give me money and you don't get nothing in return. So it's like if you want to support what I'm doing, then sign up for the website, $5 a month, but then you get access to exclusive content. You know, so that's my way of giving back. That's my way of saying thank you for the support. Now let me give you something in return for the support. So as you continue to, help me, I'm helping you because I'm constantly giving information, giving information, giving information. So I make it well worth the money, especially it's $5. So you're gonna get something in return. And of course, you can also make donations. Got the paypal.me/AshaRenu. Got the Cash App. The money sign AshaRenu for people who just want to make a one-time donation. Feel free to do it whatever you choose. But only do it if you appreciate the information. Like I don't want money just because I'm asking for it. Like don't give me the money because I'm asking. Give me the money because you have been helped in some form or fashion. If I have benefited you, then show thanks or give thanks. But if you don't find value in it, then of course there's no need to give me anything if you don't find value in it. So only if you find value in this information and you want to take it a step further, that's what the website is for. You want the wheel to keep spinning. That's all it is. So I'm just trying to engage in good business. So I say I'm not just trying to extract resources. I'm giving you something back. So it's a even exchange. So that's what it's all about. Because again, we're going to be coming with the daily content regardless. So if y'all like the direction we're going, and again, I'm not going to always come with my shirt off. It just was a special occasion. As you see, I normally don't even make videos this long, but I just had some miraculous experiences in dream time, and it just had me in a whole different wave, and I wanted to share, that vibe. I know we went all over the place. We started talking about drugs. We didn't have fucking racists coming here trying to fuck the vibe up, but we busting on motherfuckers. What's up, Leandro? Peace. What's the deal, bro? You know what I mean? Shout out to all the moderators. You know what I mean? Y'all always on deck. You know what I mean? Y'all hold me down. You know what I mean? It's all love. I appreciate everybody. Everybody who fuck with me, I fuck with you. That's what I do it for. You know what I mean? And for all the future members, do you know easier ways to get into lucid dreams? There is no easy way. Because again, it's not for, it's only for a certain type of person. I mean, if you got to be willing to put that work in to even have a lucid dream. It's not easy. If it was easy, then anybody would be able to do it. Everybody would be having lucid dreams if it would just, you can do it at a press of a button. It was never meant to be easy, But that's what I mean. It's only certain people who are willing to make the sacrifice to I understand why it was this hard to get to this level. It's not supposed to be easy. But I can easily have lucid dreams, but how much are you getting from them? See, it's one thing to have a lucid dream, but what is the context? Do you understand? Because the subconscious mind is not speaking to you directly. It's coded. You gotta, it's a whole different way of decoding. Just like you gotta decode the symbols, you gotta decode your dreams, you gotta break them down. Well, I can't really control them that well. This is what I'm saying. Like anybody can have a lucid dream, right? But are you able to direct it? Are you able to communicate? Do you remember it? Can you write down, Can you write down what you have experienced, page after page after page? But I tell y'all, like, it took me months. Like, I've dedicated months to strictly dreaming. Like, I'm not, like, I don't leave a house type shit. Like, I'm just dreaming and just was writing down my dreams and filling up notebooks of dreams, of dreams, of dreams. I can show you all right now. I got notebooks of just dreams. It took work. It took sacrifice. It's not easy. But that's just the price you have to pay if you appreciate this type of work. As they say, dream yoga. If you have a true appreciation for it, then you're willing to make the sacrifice. But it's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't find value in those things, so this is why it's not really talked about. Because I always have dreams about the future. Like we all do, if we pay attention. Just most people are not paying attention. That's why, you can see future events before they happen. You can see a lot of stuff in your dreams, but you got to be in tune. See, it's one thing to see things before they happen. It's another thing to create situations. See, it's one thing that's like, okay, oh, I saw that before it happened. It's another thing when you plant that seed in your own mind and you see that happen. That's a whole different thing. When you plant the seed versus you just seeing the seed that has already, taken flight. You know what I mean? When you plant the seed, and then when you see it, that's a whole different experience. But it take work. You know. That's why I say this is the path of the warrior. What do you think about manipulation to build an empire? Manipulation in terms of what? What do you mean exactly by manipulation? Like manipulating people or manipulating your mind? Like, what do you mean? What context are you saying that in? Because you have books like, the 48 Laws of Power. You know what I mean? Like by, Robert Greene. He got a bunch of books, the 33 Strategies of War. The Art of Seduction. He got all type of shit like that. Manipulating people in the minds of us and them. Well, it all depends on what do you want your foundation to be. If you're building an empire and your empire, the foundation of your empire is manipulating the people, eventually they're going to be able to see through the manipulation. You get what I'm saying? So it's more so of, if your cornerstone is manipulation, then that will be the downfall. If your cornerstone is just speaking the truth and being truthful and actually helping people instead of taking things away, you're actually adding to people's lives instead of extracting things from them, then you see the difference. So are you adding on to people's lives, or are you taking away from people's lives? Are you misleading them, or are you guiding them? It all depends on, you can go either way. So I'm not saying that, you got to go this way or that way. It all depends on what do you want your cornerstone to be. Yes, you can be grounded in truth, but using manipulation techniques to do it. I mean, I don't feel truth and manipulation go hand in hand. I don't think either you're truthful or you're not. Because if you are truthful, there's no need to manipulate anything. Because you just speak truth and you live the truth. When you speak and live the truth, there's no need to manipulate, because people just like being around you. They just enjoy your energy because it's truthful, it's honest, it's straightforward. They know that you're not a liar. They know that you are not deceiving them, because you're really not, and they don't get that energy from you. That's the thing. Like when people can pick up on, like, oh, this person's not being straightforward with me, that kind of fucks the vibe up. But when you put yourself out there as a truthful person and you live that up, you see the difference. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. But we are in a capitalistic society, so I understand where you're coming from, because we are in a capitalistic society. So most people do come up off of manipulation. So this is what I mean. That is a path. But it all depends on what path you want to walk down. What do you want your cornerstone to be? What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to say about you after you leave the earth? Were you a person that manipulated and deceived, or you were a person that stood for the truth? Now, some people don't care about the legacy. Some people do. That's what I mean, Can you get to the top? Can you build an empire off of manipulation? Absolutely. This has been happening throughout time. This is happening right now in America. Fucking Republicans versus Democrats. Somebody is fucking manipulating. We are in a government shutdown, right? The government, this is the longest government shutdown in history. Somebody is manipulating, and somebody is trying to stand for truth. We see what it is. So it's like either you with the president or you with the Democrats. This is what I mean. But who's going to have the legacy? See, this is, why they don't want Trump to build that wall, because that's his legacy. He will always be the president that built that wall. He will be remembered for that. That will be his legacy. Because, after he does his 8 years, because he's going to get reelected, because ain't nobody going to outwit this dude. He's masterful. He's a mastermind. These politicians can't out with this dude at all. He easily dominates them. We see it, and we're going to see it again when he started campaigning. They're not going to be able to outwit this dude. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Either you just got to make the decision. Let me see. What if we need people that are not so much with the stuff to make so much with the stuff kind of make them with it? I guess what you're saying is, because you know, I be talking about the pimping too, right? But see, this is what I mean. Where like I may talk about the pimping, and if a person thinks like, yo, that's a bad person, that's a negative person, this is the person that, you know, manipulates kids, and you know that fucking, you know, puts kids on the corner, and you know what I mean, they're like, oh, they can't fuck with it, right? But when I say be honorable, so even if you do dirt, be honorable, because that maintains your legacy. So even if you are doing dirt, like it's the difference between, you know, being a drug dealer that sold crack to kids, or pregnant mothers, or you just selling crack to people that you know that this is what they do because this is what they choose to do, or the pimp where you only deal with grown women who made the decision themselves. This is what I mean. It all depends on, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. But again, most people just like, either you're a bad person, you're a criminal, you're this. Most people just put people in a pigeonhole. But it's all about the honor. You can do anything with honor. So you can be the president and unhonorable, or you can be the president and honorable. You can be a pimp and honorable, a hoe and honorable, or dishonorable. Because that determines your character. And that's what I mean. Like this, it's not about what you do. It's all about, are you doing it with honor? Are you doing it with respect? Are you doing it with character? Because that will determine the situations that you have to go through. Because again, let's just say if you pimping on little kids and shit, you know, you can't be mad when you get caught up and have to do fucking 20 to 40 years. You know? But, you know, if you dealing strictly with grown women who have made a decision to do whatever they're going to do already, and you're just managing over it, make sure that they don't, you know, waste their money on drugs and all this madness that keeps people just going in loopholes. If you get them out of those loopholes, like, yo, invest your money this way, or no, give me that money and let me show you how to do this shit so that you have something to show for it, and you don't end up being on these streets for 10, 15 years and don't have shit to show for it because you had a drug habit. That's the difference. That's the difference. You get what I'm saying? Either you are adding on to a person's situation or you are hindering their situation, regardless of whatever profession you choose to endure. All right, hold on. Where we at with it? Have you ever astral projected? If so, how was that experience? I mean, it take a little getting used to because it's not something that we are usually accustomed to. Like your body starts vibrating super high. You start to feel your body floating up. You know, you start to feel the body, your astral body detaching from the physical body. Like I know if I astral project, see the difference between astral projection and lucid dreaming is when you astral project, your astral body is in the same location as your physical body. So you may astral project and you realize, oh, you're in the same room your body is in, but you are not in you are not in 3D, you're in 4D or 5D, whatever you want to call it, right? Versus when you are in a lucid dream, you can be any goddamn where. You can be in fucking China somewhere. You're like, oh shit, where am I at? But the lucid dream, you're more so where you are physically, then you can start doing things from that physical location that you couldn't do with the physical body. So you're in the same location as your physical body, but you're able to do things that you couldn't do physically. Just in case, for the people who didn't know the difference. So, off topic, I invoked Ishu, didn't meet him in my dreams, but when I woke up, the rain came in from my window, had everything soaked but me. But you know, Ishu is a trickster spirit, you know. Everybody don't understand what it means to be that trickster spirit. You know, somebody, oh, what the trickster spirit, does that mean I'm going to get tricked? Does that mean they play practical jokes? Absolutely. But you got to have a light heart, though. Like, they play a joke on you. Like, if your heart ain't in the right place, they're a joke. But if your heart is in the right place, if you can take a joke, basically, if you can take a joke, then you can work with demons. You can work with devils. If you can take a joke. But if you're too heavy in your heart, it's like, don't, why the fuck is the spirit fucking with me? If you on that time, then you know. They love people like that, just to take them in circles. But if you can take the joke, like, okay, I see what it is. Okay, I see what this is doing. If you can humble yourself to it, then you will have a different experience. So it really depends on the person. When we lucid dream, we go inside our subconscious mind, but it's different than 3D. Yeah, a lucid dream is basically your ability to become conscious while you are. So, okay, when you dream, you can say, right, it's an internal experience, right? Then you can say when people astral project, it's like an external experience. So when you dream, obviously your physical body is right there. You can say it's two different bodies. You have your dream body, then you have your astral body, right? See, a good book that goes into this is Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce. Get that book. Get the book Astral Dynamics for those who want to really go deep into the astral sciences. Because obviously I can't go through everything here. But if you want a complete science on that, Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce. How many incubus and succubus you smash in the astral's infinite. Infinite. That shit just happened to me recently. You know what I mean? So this is what be happening, like, you know. Like I be letting my mind go into real pornographic places. Like I go beyond moralism in my mind. What do I mean? I go beyond moral. Like the shit that I would never do physically, I'm doing it in my mind. Cause I know that if you do certain shit physically, you gotta pay the consequence. But if you do it mentally, then you're fine. But you're not necessarily doing it mentally because you want to do it physically. It's just that you want to take your mind beyond the moralism. You want to build up the power. You want to build up the energy. Not that you're going to actually do it. It's just about building up the energy. So I allow my mind to go to real pornographic places. And it breaks me through into different dimensions. So recently, like I was having all type of pornographic thoughts. Broke through into this reality. And I ended up in this room and shit. It's a real dark ass room. I'm looking around. There's women all in the room and shit. So I think like I'm walking around and I think I gave something to this woman. Then I realized she was butt ass naked and I'm like staring right into her pussy and shit. I'm like, oh. But at first I was like, oh shit, my bad. I thought I was like invading her space. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't mean to. But nah, that wasn't that. Like, nah. Cause then later on in the dream, the same woman is like, she's like laying on the couch. She's like pulling for her fucking panties to the side and shit, showing me pussy. I'm like, oh, she's like giving me the indication like, yo, come fuck or come hit. Cause this is what I mean by you gotta leave the human shit in 3D. Cause the human shit had me like, oh, like my bad, I didn't mean to walk in on you. So like, nah, you must not know where you are, motherfucker, and you must not know who I am. Motherfuckers, again, that moralism, you got to go beyond the moralism when you're dealing with the spirits, because they don't deal with that. You know what I mean? You got to leave that shit in the human experience. Be a human while you in 3D. You know, but when you take it to the dream world, when you take it to the astrals, you got to leave that shit here. You know what I mean? You got to be that divine being, you know what I mean, and smash and gather that energy up so that you can, you know, utilize that power in however way you choose. All right? I feel fear is holding me back from my goals. How can you stop being scared? Once again, this is human shit. Whatever is in your heart that's telling you that you can't do that or you shouldn't do that, you gotta rid that of your heart. But that's what dreams are for. That's what astral projection is for. That's what your imagination is for. That's why imagination is so powerful. So all the things that you don't do physically, you have to still play it out in your mind. Because when you play it out in your mind, you can play it out in your dreams. When you play it out in your dreams, then you become less and less fearful of whatever it is that, you know, is bringing up the fear. Because fear is deep-rooted, you know. Fear has been implanted inside of us since birth, right? Fear runs very deeply. So in order for you to rid yourself of the fear, it has to be an internal experience. So it starts in the imagination. Then from the imagination, it goes to your dreams. And from your dreams, you got to just go through the process of cleansing it out. They're afraid of the star seeds because they have the ability to reach Buddhahood. It's not necessarily that anyone is afraid of the star seeds. The star seeds just have to come into their own power because can't nobody stop them. All right. So it ain't about whether they're afraid or they're trying to stop it, so on and so forth. This is what the spirit told me. Because I be getting in my feelings sometime about the world that we live in and all the fuck shit that goes on here. Of course, we live in a very, very demonic place. So sometimes I be getting in my feelings, but then the spirit has to calm me down. Like, yo, what's truly yours can never be taken from you. What's truly yours can't be taken from you. Why? Because it's in your genes, it's in your DNA, it's in the blood. Fuck the pyramids, fuck all the money, fuck all the shit the physical shit. Let them have it. Let them have this physical world, this universe A, this universe that's dying. Let them have it. Because what's truly yours can never be taken from you. What's truly yours is universe B, that reality that you're creating in your own mind. You creating your own, you create a reality within a reality versus trying to figure this reality out. You are creating a reality within a reality. You know what I mean? So what's truly yours can't be taken away from you. And that's why the pineal gland is the key to all success. You must be able to visualize it. You must be able to see it. You must be able to feel it within before it can ever materialize. That's what it means by we manifest from the nothingness. See, everybody else got to go through this fuck shit. These blood sacrifices and doing all this demonic shit that these motherfuckers is engaged in. Their lifestyle is just full of debauchery. But when you activate the pineal, which is for most people is calcified because they're trying to live other people's cultures that's not theirs. So it calcified, your third eye or your pineal is calcified when you are trying to live a culture that is not yours. But when you leave that shit alone and you start to rebuild yourself from the inside out, which is why I always speak about fasting. It's like you're rebuilding yourself. So your pineal gland becomes stronger, it becomes more active, right? The principle of correspondence, it has to start within. It has to start within. As above, so below. So as above is the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. Below is, you can say, the sacral chakra and the root chakra, right? That's why you have 7 chakras. How long do you fast for? That's, it's up to you. I would say dry fast for 3 days. No food, no water, 3 days. Then after that, eat 1 meal a day. Eat 1 meal a day and you will feel like a brand new human being. You know what I mean? So if you feel sluggish, you're not dreaming, it's hard for you to get into your spirituality. Get all the chemicals out your body. Cleanse yourself of all the chemicals. And hit the reset button. And start to rebuild. You just got to rebuild yourself up. Because again, we live in a culture that destroys you. We live in a poisonous culture. It destroys you from the inside out. So when you start to rebuild yourself from the inside out, then we see where, it has to start within. So, that's what I mean by it's a full science. It's a full science. It's not just one thing. It's not just lucid dreaming. It's not just astral traveling. You got to implement the yoga. You got to implement the dream yoga. You know what I mean? You got to implement the dynamics of the mind. You got to implement the dynamics of the body. You got to have your body right. You can't have nothing in your body that's holding you back. You got to have your body right. You got to have your mind right, and then your spirit can get right. The spirit can move easy when the body is on point. The spirit can move easy when you are not holding yourself back by being a human in your mind. You know what I mean? Allow yourself to have more pornographic thoughts. And what I mean by pornographic, I don't just mean by just, naked bitches with ass and titties. It's just more so you're not thinking like I shouldn't do this or I can do this. You're not limited by your limitations. You allow yourself to be fully who and what you truly are. We already know who we truly are, even if we don't express it physically. But we already have these images and these things in our imagination. But you have to give them motion. You have to give them life. Most people don't give them life because of like, yo, you're not supposed to do that. I need to have, my wife is over here. I can't be doing all that. Nah, you can turn those lights off and your wife can be whoever you want it to be. You know what I mean? You can tap into your imagination, or your husband if you want to flip it around. So that's why, as people get older, they start to have sex in the dark more, because it don't even be about the physical beauty anymore. It be more about the mind. It ain't about, oh, you're just gorgeous, or man, like, nah, you put whatever face you want to put. You know what I mean? And you become more mental, and you become more of the spirit as you get older. So that's why sex in the dark is a little bit more spiritual. Not a little bit, it's a lot more spiritual. Start fucking in the dark. You know what I mean? Stop looking at your woman or your man and admiring their face and all that. Oh, you're just so beautiful, no, or the ass is so fat, or whatever the fuck get you off. Like, nah. It's all about the power. You know what I mean? You gotta build up that power from within. And I guarantee you will last longer too. Motherfuckers don't even be able to last long in the bed. Why? Because they so caught up with the physical. Like, oh, that ass is so fat, they got 5 minutes. Because they just love the way the ass, or that love the way the titties look, or whatever. But when you ain't focused on that, when you just focus on the power and the energy and the vibration, then it's a whole different story. You all about, I'm doing this to build up energy, so it can materialize in all ways in my life. It's all about building up the energy. Sex is for building up energy, not for you to just have a pleasurable time, with your significant other, right? So you all about those Tatianas. Exactly. Them thoughts is on point, right? Don't act like y'all don't fuck with those thoughts. Let's be real, right? They serve a purpose, though. So like, women is always hating on the thoughts, or the so-called promiscuous woman, right? They're like, oh, I would never open my legs up to strangers. But the thoughts, they're like, we don't give a fuck. Because obviously they have an older soul. Those are older souls. You have to be an older soul to even think like that, right? Is it okay that I'm 14, I'm getting into this stuff? It ain't about the age, it's about the spirit. If you even know who the fuck I am and you're 14, then this is where you're supposed to be. Because again, I'm not leading people all over the place. I'm not like, yeah, go over here, do this, do that. I'm telling you, work with demons and angels. I ain't just talking about the dark side. I'm talking about all sides. It's one science. So if you with the shits, then you with the shits. I was taught right when you don't open your eyes. Yeah, see, when you dream, yeah, keep your eyes closed when you regain consciousness, because the moment you open your eyes and you start your day up, the dream starts slipping away from you, right? So when you first come into consciousness, keep your eyes closed. Don't even move your body. This is what I do. I'll give you my personal technique. My personal technique is when I regain consciousness, I don't move, I don't open my eyes. I start to categorize what everything is. Like, for example, I may have had 4 scenarios in a dream, right? Or 4 scenes that I remember. So I make a keyword. Right? I make 4 keywords. So I make a keyword to remind me of each of those scenes. So it may be what? Treasure box, I just need a keyword that when I open up that keyword, I can remember what happened. So if it was treasure box, I'm like, okay, treasure box. Okay, I had that dream. This happened. Okay, the second dream, let's just say shoes or Jordans. I saw Jordans in the closet, and that you just need a word to remind you. You need to break it down into one word and put that whole reality into that one word. So when you do wake up, have your notebook right by your side and jot it all down. So when you write those 4 keywords at the top, you just describing those 4 keywords because you done already compiled it. So you got to, in your mind, you have to compile all the information into those 4 words. And once you have compiled all the information, then you jot it down. Don't just keep it in your mind because it'll start slipping, then write it down. Sometimes when people start writing their dreams down, they start to forget as they write it, but you have to compile it all beforehand. Compile it all. So also, for the people that are into dreams, deal with the number 7. Change your house vibration to a number 7. If you don't know about house vibrations or Vedic science, I did a video on that. Just type in how to change the vibration of your home. It's already a video on that. You can change the vibration of your home. Change it to a number 7. If you're really into dreams and dream yoga and you want your house to be like a temple, you can change it to the vibration of the 7. That's what enhances your dreams. It's just many ways. Good morning. I can never hardly remember my dreams. You just gotta fast. Don't eat or drink 6 hours before you go to bed. So for anybody who have a hard time, don't eat or drink 6 hours prior to you going to bed. Sleep with your head facing the north. So get a compass. Use your phone, get a compass. Find out what direction is north. If you gotta move your bed around in your room or your couch or the floor, whatever your sleeping situation is, just make sure your head is facing the north. And which is the element of the earth. So it helps to ground you. All right, so don't sleep to the east, the west, or the south. Because to me, that's probably what it is. You're probably sleeping in the wrong direction. And, like if you sleep to the east, it's like you be going super quick. Because that's an element of air. You be going super quick. But so you got to make sure you sleep to the north and deal with the earth energy. All right? So yeah, this is what I mean. It's a complete science. It's not just one thing. It's not just two things. You got to live out the entirety of the lifestyle so that you can see things, happen right before your eyes. It's a complete lifestyle, and it requires sacrifice. Again, it's not the funnest thing to do. You see these motherfuckers with these cars, these homes, these women. Of course, we would desire all those things, but your mind is more powerful. Like, yo, I can drive whatever fucking car I want in my mind. Can have whatever I want in my mind. And when you enhance your dreams become even more real than reality. In terms of you can live out whatever you want to live out. All desires can be lived out in the dream world to the point where you don't even have desires. That's how you rid yourself of desires. You have to live them out. But you don't have to physically do it. You can mentally and visually live out your desires to the point where it's something that you're not even tripping on no more. Then the moment you ain't really tripping about it no more, it seems like the things start flowing a lot more easy. Things start flowing a lot more easy when you live it out mentally. So, because you no longer have an attachment to it. You're not the person like, damn, I wish I could have that, or I wish I could have that. I'm tired of looking at these people that have everything. Nah, you got it all too. It's just yours is mental. Yours is in the imagination. So you can live it out in universe B. Live out all your desires. Whatever desire you have, live it out. Live out your desires mentally with your imagination to the point where you are no longer attached to it. Then things start to move because you are not blocking yourself. Because it's a difference when you have a desire, then because you can't achieve it, it makes you feel a certain type of way. But when it is actually being achieved, it's a whole different story. Let me see. What is that? What does invoke strange dreams? Or why does cheese invoke strange dreams? Because they come from cows. And cows are connected with the element or the planet of Venus, which is the Empress, which is the element of the earth. But I never really liked cheese, so I can't really co-sign it. Like I never liked cheese in my entire life, so I can't really co-sign that. So I wouldn't be the right person to ask. I never liked cheese. That's just a person. Like I never liked cheese or milk. People be putting all type of shit on it. I don't really like all that. I just keep my diet real simple. So. What if you want to live those desires in the physical? Wouldn't that be the real challenge? The real challenge is, can you remove the attachment? That's the real challenge. Can you live it out and you don't care about it no more? See, because if you are fixated on, I have to live this out physically, as if this is the real reality, as if this illusionary world is the real world, which it is not. This is not the real world. So you trying to live it out here, and this is not even the real world, is you being able to live it out in your mind to the point where you don't care about it no more. That's what you're supposed to be doing here, to the point where you don't care about it. Like I done drove every car and fucked every bitch. Whatever bitch you want to fuck, you can fuck her. Not physically. You know how many dudes want to fuck Kim Kardashian? You can't do it physically. She's married. But mentally, it's going down to the point where you can fulfill whatever desire without limitations. To the point where you can move past it and not say fixated on it. You move past it. And then when you move past your attachments, then you start to see things for what they really are. Because most people are guided by their attachments, trying to do things that they just can't play out. Remove the attachments by living them out. Then you start to see it for what it really is. It was just a desire that you wanted to live out and you did it. So that's what it is. What type of fast do you recommend? I do 3 days prior. Again, 3 days, no food, no water, then 1 meal a day. I like to keep it simple. 3 days, clean out your system, no food, no water, then go to 1 meal a day. To the point where you pretty much fasting like every 24 hours. So 23 hours out the day you're fasting. So for that 1 hour you eat, 23 hours you fast. You eat for 1 hour 20. So you just make that a normal process your body starts to adapt. Just get the book How to Eat to Live, Part 1 and Part 2 by Elijah Muhammad. What are the benefits of fasting? It cleanses you from the inside out. When you fast, your body starts to eat itself. So all the impurities of your body starts to be eaten by the body. The body starts to eat itself, all the impurities. So all the bad things, all the things that shouldn't be in your body starts to dissolve because the body is feeding on itself, but it's feeding on the worst of the worst. Not the best parts, but the worst parts. The body starts feeding on the worst parts, and it starts to dissolve it. So that's the benefits of fasting. You're removing all the impurities from within your body. Yep. So, it's real simple once you really live it out. You gotta really have a desire for it though. You gotta really. It's a dedication. Again, it's not something that you can turn on and turn off at your leisure. What you practice 72 lesser keys. It's not even a tradition. Like I'm not fixated on one tradition. I do whatever works. Like, for example, this is why I always tell people, get you an encyclopedia of spirits, right? Get the encyclopedia of spirits so you have access to all spirits, so you don't have to be locked down to a certain tradition. So I do what works. And personally, the Goetia, I'm not really a big fan of the Goetia. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it didn't, I got more success working with Palo Mayombe, personally. Not saying that the Goetia works or doesn't work, but for me, I got more success fucking with the Palo spirits. That's just me personally. But, if you're drawn to the same two Goetia, then knock yourself out. It just all depends on what you're drawn to, and all depends on what works. Because just because it didn't work for me don't mean it won't work for you. But like I said, I'm not limited to a certain tradition or a path. I do what works. So if I fuck with the angelic beings and they fuck with me, then we fucking. If I fuck with them demons and they fuck with me, we fucking. You know what I mean? What's in the cup? It's just lemonade. You know what I mean? We keeping it pure, just lemonade. I got a gallon of water over here. Just got some lemonade and a gallon of water. That's all. I said I already had my meal for the day. Again, 1 meal. I'm not eating again till like another 23 hours. So, and once I finish with this lemonade, I may just sip. I'm not just sipping on the water like constantly. I may just take a drink if I really need to. You know what I mean? I'm just doing as less as possible. You know what I mean? Just keeping myself pure as I possibly can. And that's why, the spirit starts to move a lot more quicker. You start to feel the energy surging through your body. Anybody who fasts, y'all know what I'm talking about. You start feeling that energy surge through your body. You can just feel it moving and shit. Like, oh, fuck. You just feel that electricity just moving and shit. You don't really feel it when you feel it with chemicals. So that's what I mean by it's a lifestyle. You really you have to see it for yourself. You know what I mean? You have to live it out. How do you connect with your ancestors? You connect with your ancestors, really, it's not really, you don't have to connect with them. They are a part of you. You are your ancestors. The ancestors are the DNA. So when you are activating the Kundalini, when you are activating your DNA codes, that's you reconnecting with your ancestors. When you activate that blood magic, right? So the ancestors are you. You are the ancestors. It's not necessarily something that you have to consciously work on, or you can say that's your Akashic records. What type of meal for fasting? You can eat whatever the fuck you want. See, I'm not the dude that you gotta be vegan or you gotta eat raw. Eat whatever the fuck you wanna eat. It's just more so you eat that one meal and you move forward. Now, yes, if you want to be healthy, then do it. Ain't nothing against it. But you don't necessarily have to, because if you keep your body, if you live that lifestyle where you only eat once a day, even if you eat some unhealthy shit, it's not going to really affect you the way that if you were eating this shit over and over and over and over again. How do I speak to spirits? It's more so they speak the language of symbolism. They come to you with through omens. Like you have to be able to know what the omens are. Like, for example, I may see certain spirits in mirrors and shit. I be looking in mirrors. I may be walking down the street. I look into a fucking mirror and I see like the image of a fucking spirit. I'm like, oh shit, that's so and so. Oh, this motherfucker, he trying to see what's up. I'm like, all right, I got you. You know what I mean? So now I make that connection. I may spark up the joint, spark up the blunt, and call out the spirit's name. You know, so you got to be able to pay attention to the omens. Like, they speak through omens. They speak through symbols. That's why you study symbols. Study symbols. So when you see the symbols, you know what deities are connected with those symbols. Well, this is the ancient science. Before the internet and before, you know, motherfuckers reading books, they study omens. You know, watch my video, Machiavelli Magic Part 2. I spoke about how the thuggies, you know, where the whole thug comes from, where Tupac got the whole thug concept, and the thuggies, you know, from the 19th century, and how they were killing people and shit, and how they killed people in honorance of the goddess Kali, and how would they find their next victims? They would find it through spiritual omens. So I went into that in Machiavelli Magic Part 2. You know, so you gotta be able to decode the omens. This is what I mean by it is an entire science. It's not just one thing. It's an entirety. You have to take it all. You got to take it all, but you have to study. You know what I mean? It ain't something that you just kind of learn, but you have to learn not just through the books, not just through the encyclopedias, but it has to have life experience attached to it. You got to see it for yourself. You know, you got to see how the spirit speaks to you. The spirit is not going to speak to me the same way it speaks to you. It's not going to speak to you the same way it speaks to me. Like, it comes depending on the person, depending on what's in your blood, depending on what's in your DNA, depending on your lineage. You know, some people have, like, for example, like I've done mushrooms with other people. Like, for me, like, the spirit speaks like through like my words. You know, so that's why I do videos. Like, the spirits be speaking through me, right? But for some people, they see visuals. Like, I've done mushrooms with people, and like they could see like lights flashing, and they can see. They're more clairvoyant. You know, they can see the auras. They're more clairvoyant. Then some people are more clairaudient. They can hear spirits. You know what I mean? It just all depends on how developed your psychic abilities are. Your extra sensory perception, ESP, right? So you got to know where your strong attributes are and where your weak attributes are. So you got to know, like, okay, does the spirit communicate with the sounds, through the visuals, through the words, through the thoughts, certain thoughts coming to you, you know? So, like, I may spark up the joint, whatever, call out the spirit's name, and, you know, I may start receiving certain information. I may write that shit down. I'm like, okay, I see. Okay, so when I work with so-and-so, this is the type of vibration it is. This is the type of personality they have. You start to learn the personalities of the spirits the more you work with them, because they all have a personality. So the more you work with them, the more you can get into that personality and know, like, oh, okay. You start to know, you can pick them out. Like, for example, like all the spirits I work with, like, I know exactly what their personality is, so I know what to expect when I work with them, because I built up that connection, because they all, again, have personalities. So when you start to interact with them more and more, you get more familiar with that personality. And the more you get familiar with that personality, it becomes more and more a part of who and what you are, right? You start to bring out of bring out of yourself what was already there, because you are putting in that work. And again, you know, some people smoke weed, some people smoke tobacco, because tobacco helps you to communicate with spirits, right? Tobacco helps you to communicate with spirits. So when you mix it with weed, you know, it kind of enhances it a little bit. So I ate mushroom. People said I speak in tongues. That's what I mean. The spirits communicate with different people in different ways. So that's what I mean. You gotta determine how the spirit communicates with you, and you have to develop that attribute more and more and more and more and more. So if the spirit communicates mentally, then you know, okay, I have to study. You know, how do you find the mushrooms? How do you know if you can trust the source of them? It comes straight from the spirit. Like every time I've done psychedelics, I didn't know I was gonna do it. Every time I've done psychedelics, I didn't know I was gonna do it. Literally, like that day I woke up, the days I did psychedelics, I didn't wake up like, okay, I'm gonna do psychedelics today. It never happened that way. The situation just kind of fell in my lap. But that's just the way the spirit works. So it ain't really, it comes to you. It ain't really, you have to go out finding it. It comes to you. But you have to have a determined idea. Like I didn't do LSD till I had already well studied it. Like I was studying it constantly over and over. I was watching other people's experiences. I was doing I did my homework intimately. So when I actually finally had the experience, I knew exactly what to expect. Versus like, oh, somebody just offering me some shit that I know nothing about. I knew exactly what it was. So I didn't get to have the experience till I was well studied up on the experience. But that's just my personal experience. You know, so it came to me just through the spirit. You know, it wasn't something that I was seeking, but I was well studied on it. So I'm like, okay, whenever I do it, I already know what I'm doing, but I didn't know when. Mushrooms grow under cow dung in the West. Well, you know, if you got that type of heart, you want to dig through cow dung. If you got that type of heart, then go for it. You know, I don't think I'm not gonna be digging through it. Like it's not that serious to me. But you know, if you are in those type of situations, if you are around cows, I don't even know where to find a cow. Personally, I don't know. You know, I live in the desert. I'm in the desert. I don't even know where to find a cow. But if you around and you around mushrooms, then go for it. But if you're not in those situations, then it has to come to you. But the only way it comes to you, you have to be ready for it. And the spirits, you know, communicate with you through the experience. That's what I mean. It's a holistic science. You're not just doing drugs for recreation and just because you just want to be high and funny and nah. It's a personal, intimate experience, which hopefully you do it alone. Or do that shit alone. You know what I mean? Because you don't really want to do it around people whose mind ain't in the same frequency as your mind, because they fuck the experience up. Like they trying to get up and party and go to clubs. Like, yo, I'm trying to just be in a room and just lay down and just visualize. Or I'm just trying to sit on a beach somewhere. So you gotta, whoever you're doing it with, they gotta be with that wave, or you just gotta do it by yourself. So that's what I mean. That's why keep saying it's a full science. It's a full science, and the way the spirit work, you can't really calculate it. You're not gonna ever know. Like for example, like all of my spiritual experiences, again, I didn't wake up that day and knew that I was gonna, you know, interact with the spirit, so on and so forth. I didn't know that. It happened in the midst of me going about my life and me having a certain wave frequency or a wavelength. Just me moving in certain vibes, and you just attract certain situations to you by when you move in certain vibes. You know, so that's what I mean. That, you know, that determines what you eat, how you live, what you speak. You know, is it which desert? Yeah, like Las Vegas is a desert. Yeah, Las Vegas is a desert. I believe Las Vegas, Arizona, and Utah. Those are the desert states. I believe. And maybe one more. But yeah, we in the desert. So, but even when I was in California, I mean, like unless you a farmer or something, like the only time I've seen cows is when I was traveling across the country. Like they don't be in major cities. Last time I seen cows, like I was traveling across the country in places that, I'm like, oh shit, there's a cow. You just don't, like, that ain't something that I see on a daily basis. But you know, it all depends on the person's circumstances and how determined they are to have a certain reality. We do this to have a certain reality, not to have a certain experience to create a whole reality. So some people are just trying to have a certain experience, but when you are having a complete reality, when you are building a complete reality, that's the difference, right? It's a complete reality. So, you don't know. I think y'all get the point. So we can check. We can check out now. You know what I mean? I think I've said enough. So y'all take it easy. You know what I mean? Get your dream work on. Get your yoga on. Be holistic with your life. Your reality is yours to create. Let the spirit guide you. Be intimate with your experience. Universal knowledge. Right? Motherfucker said one more thing. All right. 60 seconds. We got 60 seconds. Go ahead, bro. Ask your last question. Motherfuckers was talking about my hair. Like, y'all don't know I do this shit. Like, y'all didn't see me home. Like, I didn't have the homeless beard and all that shit. Y'all think I give a fuck about, like, y'all didn't see me at my worst. Maybe some of y'all haven't, but y'all didn't see me at my worst. Just go back and look if you see. Like, I ain't tripping about none of this. I'm just having fun. Like, I didn't just wake up. I'm not about to get all dressed up, you know, to get on YouTube. I mean, we kicking it. If I work with a Goetic spirit to help with finances, do I still need to create a servitor to help with the finance? Just work with the spirit that fuck with the finances. So no, if you're working with the Goetia, no, you don't really need servitors, because your servitors are the Goetia. The Goetia is the servitors. So it's like you're talking about the same thing. The Goetia is the servitors. So if you're fucking with the Goetia, that is a servitor. They're not above you. Remember, Solomon tamed the demons with the ring. So those are the servitors. The Goetia are the servitors. So you're essentially speaking about the same thing. So the servitor is a Goetia. The Goetia is a servitor. All right? So there we go. Y'all take it easy.